All right, here we go.
Mo, you might need a little more light, don't you think?
Let me see here.
Not a lot though, because I see what you're trying to do, but you might be a little too dark. Now, or what do you think, Jay? Am I tripping?
I think it works from
It looks better when it's in the smaller view, but
yeah. No, I think what you just did is definitely better. But are you okay with it in that view too, or no?
Yeah, it's fine. If there's too much light on me, you could tell I'm fat.
Fair. Okay. At your leisure, Jay.
The following may contain language which will be offensive to some people and inappropriate for children. The topics discussed may include drugs, alcohol, or be sexual in nature. This show is intended for mature audiences. Listener discretion is advised. I'm serious. It's dirty. Really, really dirty. Still here? Then pour your favorite beverage, sit back, and let's get this fucking show started.
Fantastic Forum, assemble! You're listening to Fantastic Forum, your premier comic book live show, stream, podcast, whatever you want to call it, plus your weekly conversation about geek culture and the entertainment industry. Welcome. I should say, hope you're having a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night, as the case may be, depending on where you are in the world. And if you're not, you should stick with us. We'll help you take it up a notch. You have half of the usual suspects in the building. First, he is the backbone, the pillar, the strength of Fantastic Forum, our nigh invulnerable brawler and resident strongman, Moses Magnum.
It's almost like they called us to come here and then one of us killed us from within.
It feels just like that. And that's for myself. My name's Lawrence Young. They call me very young. Welcome to Fantastic Forum. It's a strange start. Like, it felt like things were gonna be like all right. Like things were gonna be okay. Like, I'm doing a little bit more than I'm used to doing, but all of a sudden our numbers are reduced in half. Only the strong survive, apparently, Moses. Only the strong survive.
Look, you're next.
Oh, listen, I disagree. I'm here to the end.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we both not going anywhere. So welcome to Fantastic Forum. We got a great show for you today. We are going to be talking to you all about the Amazon Prime animated series Invincible.
Yeah, man. No, we're gonna be talking about that.
Yeah. Based on the Robert Kirkman comic book. So we'll be talking about that, and we're also going to talk about season 3, the start of season 3 for Final Space. So we're also going to be talking about that, as well as bring you the latest and greatest comic book news, including a little bit of what happened at WonderCon at Home 2021. Like we were hoping we'd not have to put numbers on WonderCon at Home because there was only going to be one.
I was hoping they'd get this virtual home cam stuff like fixed.
Hey, look, we're going to talk about it, but before we do all that, we want to make sure that we thank Mr. Scott Rubin, who without him, this show would not have happened. So thank you, Scott. Hope you're doing well. And, we are going to go ahead and let you know how it is that you can get down with Fantastic Forum. Here's how.
Want to get in on the action? Call Fantastic Forum on Skype and join the fun. Too shy to call in? That's okay. You can join the Discord chat room available at
FantasticForum.Live.
Join the party. You know you want to.
Thank you, intern, for your diligent work and your utter professionalism. We appreciate you.
Your value is
Salute.
unquantifiable.
Exactly. Yes. So,
And has nothing to do with your attractiveness.
hey, I didn't even know she had it outside. I thought it was all inside. I thought it was all inner beauty. I had no idea.
I don't want to know how
to
you
me.
probed her, Larry. That's another HR issue. You probing her insides like that?
No, I didn't say anything about poking. Well, wait a minute. Don't Cuomo me. don't listen. Don't. Well, I guess I can't say Cuomo because he probably did that.
Yeah.
I can say don't Rick Gates me, but I can't say that because he probably did that too.
No, what's the other dude's name? Don't Franken me.
Al Franken definitely did it. There was photo evidence. He was like, "This is gonna be hilarious."
She was like laughing at the picture. She was asleep, smirking at the picture.
Oh, you don't think she was actually asleep?
No.
Oh, well, then if that's the case, she should have come forward and said that, but she didn't.
Right, but that's not what they're trying to do.
Oh.
Who are you talking about? We're talking about you and your beautiful connection, man. Congratulations.
You sound great right now. We hope you stay there.
I wasn't being sarcastic.
Oh, it's that's the default whenever you say something. So.
Yeah.
He's like, this son of a bitch, Mo.
But you can't even
trying to give you these back ass handed compliments.
Yeah. No, you look good. Like even your frame rate's good. Like lighting.
I agree.
Sounds good.
And now you guys have cursed it. So.
Oh, okay.
Did you get the Starlink yet?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Then I did curse it.
I don't like that game anyway.
This is running my connection right now.
Shit.
So.
Is that your cell phone?
Yeah.
Oh,
what did it look like?
I wasn't sure. I mean, I saw. Yeah, it looked like your cell phone, but okay. Well.
See, because it's not Wi-Fi, it's wired connection.
I'm just gonna leave it alone. I'm just happy that you're here, Oz. Thank you.
Look,
oh, son of a bitch!
We did it.
I blame Moses.
It's the Viltrumite connection.
Oh man. So okay, cool. So yeah, if you want to get down with Fantastic Forum, there are a whole bunch of different ways to do it. I'm looking into chat. I do see that we have someone in chat, of course, the infamous Tiger Claw, saying, "What's up, Fantastic Forum? Godzilla vs. Kong is out in theaters right now, but also on HBO Max. Anyone seen it? I'm going to see it at home this week." Wait, so okay. I haven't seen it yet. It came out today. I haven't had the opportunity. Oh, what, ladies and gentlemen, a Wild J has appeared. Hello,
Hey,
Jay.
what's up?
Good. Happy to have you.
How do I sound?
A little tin cupish, but it doesn't sound like a plastic cup, so I'll take it.
Wish I had more time to work on this, but
No, it doesn't sound bad.
No. I mean, look,
it sounds good. Good volume. Good, It could
all together, you're fine.
Yeah.
Ish.
You're so fine. Cuomo might come after you.
well, he does guys too.
I think it's a power thing. So yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, hey, Jay's down.
Still tinny?
A little bit.
Actually, it's kind of funny. I was just having a conversation about like if I would be okay being molested.
Wait, what? Isn't the definition of molested you not being okay? Like
That's what the person said.
Yeah, they turned out they were right, Jay.
do.
That was absolutely right, correct. If you're into it, it's something different, right?
You hear that sound?
I did.
That's everybody hitting like and subscribe whenever Joe talks about some crazy shit. But happy to have you, man. It wasn't like this till you got me.
Hey,
Kicked up the energy.
take that how you want to, right? I guess we got our first like, right? No.
Okay. I wish I didn't sound tinny, but
No, you're fine,
No,
Jay.
you're
Don't
it
worry about
happens.
it.
I might need a new mic.
Okay.
That might be.
Jay, did you watch Godzilla versus Kong?
Yep. It was
There
kind
you
of
go.
funny. It happened the same way I watched Falcon and Winter Soldier.
What does that mean? Oh, you
I
saw
saw
a
a
billboard
billboard
walking.
on my way home.
I was like, what does that even mean? But I get it. I remember this conversation.
Yeah, I saw it. I thought it was amazing.
I don't know. I don't
We're
know.
not talking about it right now, but
Okay.
we can talk about it if we want. I mean, we got space on the schedule.
I don't know what it is about it, but the billboards. I don't know. I guess I didn't know we were going to talk about billboards. Otherwise, I would have put it so the audience could see it. But this is the best I can do right now. But the billboards kind of, they're striking somehow. Like they catch my attention, both for Kong and Falcon. And I actually took a picture of both today because I'm like, oh, I could use that. Like,
Really?
yeah, it's good marketing.
That's interesting.
Cool.
Yeah. So cool. Yeah,
I plan to
cool
watch
indeed.
it this weekend in theater.
I'm gonna do the same. I think.
So you watched it already at home, and you're gonna go watch it again in theaters?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that good, huh?
I feel like
Honestly, yes. But there's a little bit of just wanting to be in theaters. So it's like my theater is opening up on the 2nd, and it honestly is actually a good movie. Like it's probably the best of the last 3 of these movies that came out.
for the last 3 movies, that's what, 2 Godzilla and 1 Kong?
Yeah.
Okay. It's interesting though, because I was thinking myself, like, I'm probably gonna watch it on HBO Max or whatever. But if I like it enough, I very well might go see it in the theater, in the coming weeks, if I feel comfortable with doing that. Because it is the kind of movie that would, I think, benefit from seeing in a theater. I mean, don't get me wrong. Not to say that, like, I just like going to the movies in general, but that's like one of those movies where I can justify paying money to see it in a theater, even though I've already seen it,
Right. They're big monsters. You want to see them on a big screen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's cool. Yeah, it's interesting. So yeah, so there you go, Tire Claw. Only Jay's seen it.
None of you guys saw it?
No, none of us have seen it yet. It came out today, Jay.
Yeah, I saw it.
I
So there's no
agree.
reason you guys couldn't have seen it.
That's how I felt with WandaVision. Talking to Lawrence about it.
Listen, you cats that mess around and say these things like the day is done. Like, like we like, it's like,
I'm saying,
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that like I'm gonna go watch it after the show because I'm not. But I
we
just
do a podcast about comic book type shit. This is definitely in our wheelhouse, and I'm a little ashamed at you guys for not seeing it.
listen. If that's how you all felt, we could have
Especially
scheduled.
you.
We could have scheduled that for the show today, but we didn't. We scheduled something else. So that means I don't have to watch it today. I had to make sure I watched Final Space today.
I was making money to buy you a new microphone.
Right.
Now I know how whatchamacallit, Nolan feels coming home and his wife's telling him shit about being a superhero.
Oh, see, listen. Like I tell you what, Mo, every reference has been an Invincible reference. Every reference. So,
Yeah, that's one of those changes, those writers' room things.
We're about to get into it. Just real quick. Black Compat says, "What up, homies? What up, Black Compat?" And Tiger Claw here says, "I love to see the movies at the theater. the problem is AMC is only showing them at 4 p.m. and later instead of the matinee hours, which are typically at noon. Does that mean Tiger Claw?
You got to remember, Tiger Claw, or I don't know if it's the same for you as it is for us out here, but generally the earlier showings have not started yet. Those start closer to May, June, where they start doing the 10 a.m. shows with the 10 a.m.
You mean like from a pandemic perspective, they're not doing the earlier shows?
No, I mean in general, they don't do the earlier shows at this time of year because a lot of because of school and normally there are fewer hours when school is in and more hours when school is out.
Wait, so you're saying like matinee shows aren't year round?
They don't start as early as they do year round.
Really?
They usually have them for like just one of the weekdays, like a Tuesday or something.
Yeah, weekends they'll tend to do earlier.
Yeah,
weekends because there's more chance of people going on the weekend, but during the week.
I don't know, man. I've never noticed, but at the same time, I don't always rush out to go to matinees. I mean, I like early shows, especially if I want to see like more than one movie. But I'd be lying if I was like, oh, I'm always at the matinee, so I know that they're there all year round. It's like, I guess there very well might be times where I went to go catch a movie and just was like, oh, okay, it's not showing until noon or 1. But Tiger Claw was talking about 4.
Tiger Claw says before the pandemic, movies always started at 11, 12, or 1, but since the pandemic, movies are on after 4. And yeah, I think that is because 1, school's in, and 2, because of the pandemic and they're just getting back.
Well, Tiger Claw, what I recommend is don't go to AMC because CMX Cinema is having a 12 p.m. showing of Godzilla vs. Kong, and that's right in your area. So
Tiger Claw's in Florida, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What is CMX?
It came before DMX.
Got it. They gonna give it to you. Makes sense.
Yeah, at 12.
At 12. Oh.
It's only like half a mile away from the AMC that he's looking at.
Look, Tiger Claw, why don't you give us your address and we'll tell you which theater to go to? Yeah, just put it in chat.
Please don't do that, Tiger Claw. Look, I'm sitting here like, why does Oz know where Tiger Claw lives? Like, I don't understand.
I know what city he lives in. I'm looking at the AMC Hialeah right now, and the CMX Cinemas Miami is like half a mile away.
Damn.
Plus, Tiger Claw's like our Jimmy Olsen, so we always keep tabs on them.
Oh man, I'm a bad hero.
Yeah, you are.
I don't keep tabs of Tiger Claw at all. Like, I'm like, oh, Tiger Claw got in trouble. What happened? I'm like, oh no, I didn't realize.
Godzilla says hi.
Hacked. Good to see you, buddy.
And if you're watching this live and you need help on movie times and when you can watch Kong versus Godzilla, go ahead and hit us up in chat, like, subscribe, and we'll send you all your options and show times. And we're like, we are the Mr. Movie Phone of the internet.
Welcome to Fantastic Forum Phone.
While we're in the subject of subscribing and liking and all that stuff, I'd like to remind you all that we do have a separate series now for the Falcon and Winter Soldier. So we won't be talking about these on the weekly show, but we give you a weekly show about Falcon and Winter Soldier episode by episode. So there's 2 up now. One of them is only audio, so you got to go to iTunes and all that. The other one is a full-on video because we got rid of the technical difficulties, kinda. And then the third one will be out, sometime next week for episode 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
remember to join us with doing that soon.
So remember, just hit the like and the subscribe and the bell to hit the notification. I love that.
We could tell.
I might do Sunday, right?
Yeah.
I might do the next one. Don't.
Yeah, I might not be here that Sunday.
But then I'm out for like 3 weeks for sure.
Oh, jeez, man. Wait a minute. Just look. Don't tell me you celebrate Easter all of a sudden, Mo. You don't do that.
Yeah.
Oh, see. All of a sudden, he's like, I love my mom.
Not even she hates Easter. Easter's for pagans.
Yeah, what does Easter have to do with this mom?
Yeah. My mom's one of those tent preachers from Mississippi, like snake handler type. Like she don't celebrate birthdays. She said only Herod celebrated birthday in the Bible, so she don't celebrate no birthdays. She don't celebrate Christmas. She don't,
Well,
she makes Jehovah's Witnesses and yeah, she makes them look like party animals.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say something about Christmas, but I realized that it's still pagan.
Yeah, all of it's pagan. So yeah, she don't do none of that. But it's Liz's birthday, so we're going bar hopping.
Also a pagan.
Bar hop.
Yeah.
What bars are y'all going to?
I don't know. We're just
What's
gonna
open?
We're gonna break into them.
Okay, that's fair.
I hate to go
That's
bar
fair,
hopping
dude.
with Liz, man. On her birthday? Oh, that sounds expensive.
Okay, let's get to it, gents. Let's talk about Invincible. And folks, obviously, if you want to get down with Fantastic Forum, you have some thoughts on Invincible, feel free to go ahead and call in. You can go to FantasticForum.Live and hit the call in button and join the show that way. Or you can, jump into chat as you all have been doing in Facebook or Twitch. I haven't seen too many people use. I was gonna say actually Twitch, YouTube, and I don't usually see that many people on Facebook. But every now and then,
last week we had them out on Facebook, but they didn't give the permission, so we didn't see it here. But if you look on the actual post for the video, it's like a whole like scroll of just answering all our questions that we didn't get to read.
Oh wow, jeez, that sucks. Give permission.
But yeah, before we get into the Invincible, here's the review music.
Comic book theater.
I love it. I love that.
You see why we keep tabs on him?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, where else are we gonna get gems like that?
Like he made.
Yeah. He what?
He made that music.
He made the music.
Well, the lyrics.
Does Tiger Claw make music?
Yeah, he made a couple of our news themes.
Like, I know he's always promoting DJs on Twitter, but I never hear him like posting his own stuff.
Well, those DJs he promotes are people that he brought up under his wing and are now up and coming thanks to him.
They're his kids.
He pushed them into the stratosphere.
Those are his tiger cubs. Okay. Let's talk about Invincible. Look. Oz, you got to watch it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
First 3. I don't know if 4 is out yet.
No,
4 is out Friday.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, cool. All right, so we've all seen it at least. So
Also, we should mention to the audience that there are potentially spoilers.
that is a good idea, Jay. There will. This is going to be a spoiler discussion for potentially the first 3 episodes, I guess.
Bye, Black Compact.
Bye. Like,
Wait,
like, yep.
just turn the volume down, but keep it streaming.
Keep it streaming.
Yeah.
We need that.
Don't worry, Black Compact knows what to do. They'll keep us. Huh?
We'll signal you when we change topics by Lawrence exposing a nipple.
That that's what we need now. It's a video card for when spoilers start and spoilers end.
I like it.
That we need that. A visual cue since they can't hear us say spoilers are over. I remember when we used to talk about shit and Joe would just take off his headphones when we were in the same room. And then we'd have to tell him spoilers.
You can still hear us because we're like 5 feet apart, but yeah.
Tiger Claw says, I take it you guys are going to compare this show to the comics to see how comic accurate everything is?
I'm not.
Yes.
Oh, we already compared. Yeah,
I complained about the costumes. I didn't complain about the story beats.
Yeah,
and about how they changed Mark into an almost completely different character. And how overly dramatic everything is compared to how nonchalant the comic is.
Oh, man. It's so funny because I saw an article where somebody else was saying some of these things that you're saying, Jay.
Mm-hmm.
The only difference, though, is...
it was better.
Well, no, I wasn't going to say that. I'm going to say the place where they diverge and where it makes it so, like, I could, like, I wish these two people, like Jay and this person, were in the same room having this conversation because they could be like, yeah, and then they would get to this one point and they would never speak again, which is the Adam Eve costume, where they were like, well, they at least modified it a little bit to try to make it more with today's sensibilities, but at the same time, you know, they're like, it's still like a skin tight pink outfit, which doesn't, you know, which is like, might as well just be like, they felt like the costume was basically still inappropriate because it just doesn't jibe with the sensibilities of this day and age. Meanwhile,
yeah, dude, what are you talking about?
You have Jay that's like, look at that crotch line. What are you lowering that for? Look at that crotch line. Jay's like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. What are we covering up all that thigh for? I mean, it's like,
I just want
her inner thigh, Joe? Her inner thigh?
I want your adaptations to be comic accurate, if possible.
Hey, man. I mean,
I need to know if she skipped her waxing appointment.
Oh, Lord, see? Exactly. As if this is what the comic is about, right? Like, like, Mo, why don't you kick us off, man? Because I mean, obviously, you know, you watched the joint. You're excited about it.
Yeah.
What is Invincible, the animated series?
Invincible is the shit that's gonna fuck Superman and Lois in the ass. Like, I was worried about Jupiter's Legacy, and then here Invincible comes, and it's like, oh, yep, there he goes. It's sooner than I thought. I thought I was gonna get a good 2 seasons of Superman and Lois, because this kind of deconstructs the superhero parent dynamic a little bit, but it's more about the kid than the parent. But it plays a part, and it does it in a way that's really done well. And for those of you who read the comic, you know, you might not like certain things, but I've read some of the comic, and I read it knowing that Universal had bought the rights to make a movie on it back in the day. So I read it just to like know what it's about, and that's it. So now this was what, 15 years ago? Now I'm watching it and experiencing it almost for the first time again, and now I love it. And you get this kid that basically is waiting to get his powers. They prepared him. Even the conversation that Omni-Man had with him as a kid, you compare that to the conversation that they had in Superman and Lois, and it's like, dude, like, I like that in Superman and Lois. Yeah, it wasn't as good as I would have liked it, but it combined it with the birds and the bees pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Now, can I interrupt you real quick?
Go ahead.
This conversation, it also happens in the comic book.
Right.
But in the cartoon, they try to make it like the super dramatic.
Right. Yeah.
Like like the huge, powerful moment.
Right.
Compared to the comic where he's like playing with the truck while his dad is telling him this.
Right.
It's like, you're really changing the mood here.
But you have to because you're trying to grab the audience. This is a show. This is an animated TV show for adults in an age where people don't have an attention span. So they have to play music under everything to get them to stick around. And this show doesn't have a score like that. Like they don't have music under every scene to keep people sucked in. So they do it with this actor's performance and creating this tone. You know, they're giving you an experience. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like Jay's not buying it. Jay, that like it is interesting though, because I will say that you know, having read Invincible, but I read it when it came out. So it's been a while since I've read Invincible lately. I know that the opening was really interesting to me because the show opens with like basically two security guards at the White House. And it's literally like one guy having a conversation with, you know, the other, his like, you know, I guess colleague security guard, basically talking about the relationship he has with his stepson and how like rocky it started, but how much better it's become. And it was just a weird, weird is not the right word. It was a different way to start. I mean, honestly, like any series that you're not thinking is a drama from the very beginning, it was a little jarring, and I don't mean that in a bad way. Like I felt like it did what Mo was talking about, where it's like the performance got my attention. Not that I wasn't paying attention anyway, but you know, it was like because it was such a sincere kind of dialogue that these two people were having. I was like, man, like this is a different kind of note to start things off on. And then, of course, like right after that, we get into like Mahler twins attacking the White House, which is a weird transition. But I think that that's intentional. Like, I think they're trying to give you that moment. They're trying to, like, you know, like what Mo was saying, like they're trying to hold your attention right in the beginning and doing it in a way that is contrary to probably what you're expecting from the show. And then they give you what you're expecting in the quiet moment.
See, the thing about that moment is that it goes to like attention spans where the comic had some really random moments and like just bullshit would happen and it would take up like 1 or 2 pages and then you would never hear from it again.
Yes.
And I guess you can't do that in an animated show. They have these 2 security guards talking about family issues.
You can't do it in an animated show, one on Adult Swim that's 15 minutes long or 11 minutes with commercials. You know? But this isn't that show. This is essentially a live action like HBO show just done animated.
And I will say too that I mean you could obviously do that in an animated show, but I think the difference between what was happening in Invincible the comic versus Invincible the TV show is that Invincible the comic, especially given like the history of comics at that time, because you know Invincible comes out in like the early 2000s. Like I don't know if it's like 2002 or 2003, somewhere in there, right?
Right.
Like Invincible is a commentary on like what the comic book industry was in the 90s and what superhero comics were in the 90s. And it's like in one way it's like a love letter, and in another way it's kind of like a friggin' like
satire.
Yeah, exactly. Like it literally like kind of pokes fun, and it pokes fun at the ridiculousness, hence where you get like some of those moments that you're talking about, Jay, because some of those moments are literally just like, look how ridiculous this is, because this is what used to happen in comics, but it shouldn't happen anymore because look at this. Like, why would you do that?
Well,
right?
even the serious conversation with the 2 security guards, like you see that in any movie or TV show, and it's like, okay, this guy's gonna die, something bad's gonna happen. So even that is a little bit poking fun at that genre of television or storytelling. And then when they show you that same guy in the second episode, it was funny. Like it's like, okay, he didn't die, he's gonna die here, and then he still does it. So it subverts my expectation, but he's still having a good moment. And he even said something relevant to today where it's like the queen just wants you to know that she's better than you. Yeah, like she told Meghan Markle. Yeah.
Right.
And then that happens. So it's like that. It's a satire within the satire, kind of.
Yeah, you're talking about episode 2, right? Where the son, the security guard, and then the trash bag that Mark threw in the first episode almost hits them.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a little random.
It's like, no, it's not random. It's set up.
Yeah.
Like, that's why you have the conversation with the security guards, so that you can connect it to that moment. That moment was built for that.
You think so?
I know so. Because otherwise, no one would, for I forget what the word is, but like what happens in the comic is the bag just lands in a random alley with random people finding it. And it's like in a TV show, that's a little too random. Like you need that connection. You can't just have it go to random people and then they start a cult based around the trash bag. It's like that's I guess that's just not good for an animated show.
Is that what happened in the comic?
Yes.
The trash bag landed somewhere and they started a cult around the trash?
Yes.
Why?
Random comic shit. Like,
got you. You're right.
That's how that's how he rules. Like, there's a lot of stuff like that. But real quickly, if I could side rail the conversation, Quality Assassin in chat says, "Hello everyone. I don't want to side rail the conversation. Mary Young, I remember you from VGN. Loved the show."
No, thank you, Quality Assassin. Appreciate you. Appreciate you stopping in and saying hello.
Joe took my joke. I was gonna say the guy that remembers Lawrence's vagina.
It's still funny, Oz. It's still funny.
But also in chat, if you could put Tire Claw's last message, and to get to his point of he expected let's see, I heard this show doesn't hold back on the violence. It gets bloody and gory. And I gotta say the first episode, what are these, like 40 minutes long, something like that?
43.
Okay, 43 minutes long. I'd say the first 36 minutes feel like just kind of traditional. You have a big Justice League fight against the twins, and it's normal animated stuff. And to the point where I was thinking, like, yeah, I thought this was to be like bloodier, like way gorier, and make more damage to everybody and stuff like that. From what I saw in the previews, I wasn't getting that. And then those last 5 or 6 minutes hit, and it's like, oh, well, there it is. And after that, episode 2 and 3, that level of gore is kind of sprinkled in a lot more.
I was even complaining that the frame rate was kind of laggy, like just cheap in the episode. And then that fight at the end, it's like, nope, this is like 60 gigahertz or some whatever technical bullshit it is.
60 gigahertz.
Yeah, like this is
it's
full
1080p.
Yeah.
4K. 4K blood splatter.
It was just awesome. Like, yeah.
It's one of the better superhero fights I've seen in an animated thing.
Yeah.
It's so crazy just because I will say that, I like the episode is constructed, episode 1 is constructed the way it is, I'm certain, for that reason. Like they're subverting all the expectations. They're trying to, for those of us that have read the comic and know some of the story beats and what we can expect. It's like I know I personally watched that, and just like Moses said, I'm like, oh, this guy's gonna die. The security guard, this guy's gonna die. And there was like 2 moments where I was like, oh, here it comes, and then he doesn't die. And then there are other moments in the fight at the White House with the Guardians of the Globe and the Mauler twins and Omni-Man, and I'm thinking like, oh geez, they're about like somebody here is about to get like slaughtered. Especially like I remember when the random woman ran out of the White House because she evacuates poorly. I don't know what happened. I don't know why she just showed up there, and the dude grabs her by the head. I'm like, oh God, like she is about to die for real. And he just tossed her by her head, which, was not comfortable for her, but her neck didn't snap or anything like that. And I was like, whoa. And she got saved. And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. And, it literally, like, nothing throughout the entire episode makes you feel as though it's going to ratchet up the violence to a high level until you get to that very last scene. And that's why they do it like that for that reason, where it's like, you thought you weren't going to get this, huh? And which is crazy too, because the other part of it, of course, that subverts expectations for those of us that have read the comics is, that reveal comes so much later,
right?
That it was just like, whoa, wait, what? Like we're going right into this? Like, okay, well, look,
I told everyone, I'm surprised they're moving this fast for this, because I in reading the comics, like I read the beginning and then I read later on when that starts happening, and then it's like, and then they're showing you the gory shit, and I'm like, fuck, if they actually show the full on fights, like, because they get fucking gory as shit, like just the covers of those that, like, was it the Ventrilian War or whatever? Like, they're moving quick, yeah.
And that
does everyone want to hear another difference between the comic and the animated joint?
I don't like doing that, Joe.
Jay, we do a comic book show, Jay.
Before we get to, while we're still on the gore, it's not just the gore of the fight. Even the aftermath is gory. Like when the team comes and like they put they're trying to save the guy that got beheaded, and his body's like starts twitching because of what they did. Like that kind of stuff is just goes on and on and on. And it's great. It's just wow. Go ahead, Jay.
The reaction, the vomiting, and all that.
So, in the animated joint, Cecil Stedman, that's the leader of the government task force that monitors all the superheroes. He actually works with Omni-Man. Like Omni-Man works for him to help protect the globe. He's got an earpiece in, so that that they can pretty much monitor everything that's going on with him at all times. And for the reveal, or for them to keep this from him, they had to change the story so that he doesn't work for him at all. Otherwise, they would actually have audio evidence of what happened, and there would be no mystery for them at this point.
So you're saying like when Cecil or when Omni-Man turns, Cecil knows immediately?
Yeah, because he can. In the comic, we don't find out until much later when something happens. I said spoiler warning, but I'm trying not to get too spoilery.
Yeah, don't get too spoilery. Jay.
But basically, there's a conversation where he is like, "Yeah, I killed them," and like. Basically, Cecil hears that, and so they know right away that Omni-Man is a bad guy, and that he's turned.
Yeah.
Now, does everybody in what's the planet's name? Vitruvius?
Viltrum?
Yeah.
Do all the adult males in there have that mustache?
Yes.
That scene, like, I saw everybody with that porn stash. I'm like, that's
a trait of the Viltrums that doesn't get broken until like 100 or like I think 500 years in the future.
Do they have to have it, or is it just a style choice?
I don't think there's a mandate, but they all have it.
It's like
even the ones in hiding have it under their fake beards.
Okay.
It's so true. I'm sitting here like, damn, Jay is absolutely right, man. Like Like you making me want to go back and reread Invincible, man. It's such a good book. Like like here's something that I'm like, man. Now I think about it. Here's something that happens in the comic that, like, this is a testament to the book because you know me, I don't remember stuff. Like I forget things easily, but I do remember. And Jay, you back me up here because I'm pretty sure this is the case, right? Like they're like, if I'm not mistaken, Cecil. Like in the comic, or I'm sorry, in the show, Cecil uses the teleporter, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in the comic, he would use the teleporter, but he would use the teleporter like indiscriminately, like in places he didn't have to use it necessarily.
Right.
Because he got off on like how much money it costs taxpayers to teleport places.
Right. That's exactly why he would do it.
Like he literally would like he would laugh at the idea that he would teleport like from the office to like a crime scene, and it would cost like taxpayers like $100 million or like damn like $500 million, and it would like he loved doing that.
Right.
And that was like one of those things where it's kind of like we watched 3 episodes of this joint at this point, and it's like that hasn't come up. And it could still, but the fact that it hasn't come up at this point so far, it's like, I mean, I guess he has other it's one of those little weird character quirks.
The show's going for such a dramatic tone. I'm not sure that would fit.
It would fit fine. It's like it's a little bit of crazy. Like it would be a weird, eccentric kind of thing to break up the little bit of drama. Like literally, it wouldn't have to be a thing where it's like you focus on it. It could, like the random moment kind of thing you were just talking about. It could totally be like a sentence after he comes out of a portal and no one else says anything about it, or the dude, I can't remember the dude's name, that's his like #1 guy, makes a face or something, and that's it.
And I don't want it to happen. Like I would love that to happen. Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
He's that conversation to come up.
He seems like too much of a company man, patriot type of thing to be wasteful like that in the show anyway. Unless he's like that in the comics and does it anyway.
He's that in the comic too, and that's the thing where I mean he's Nick Fury. He's Nick Fury, but one of his little quirks is that which honestly though, Nick Fury was the same way with these friggin' LMDs, right? Yeah. Like. And Nick Fury never quite was like, you don't see Nick Fury say, "Oh, I love spending these people's money," but it's like, how many? He knows he's gonna get assassinated, and he sent the friggin' $1 billion robot to go get assassinated instead. It's like, and it's not like he was like, "Oh well, damn, I guess I used that trick once." That fool uses LMDs all the time. That was a closet full of LMDs.
He used to, throw them into battle, like
right,
like duplicate.
Right. So like duplicate, duplicate is so good, man. Friggin' Kirkman.
First episode.
I didn't even like consider the ramifications of a 3-sum, 4-sum, or however many sums would duplicate. when I saw it, and then like the dude came out of the shower, I was like, that's a fucking good idea. He should be dating that chick. Why is he wasting his time with the chick who won't show her panty line,
Oh, wow. See what
I will say I do kind of like that scene better in the comic, where the way they frame it, because you basically just get a panel of Adam Eve, and she's just saying like no, 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 and then it like switches, and then later you find out what happens when she's talking to Invincible about it, which it's a good paneling.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I will say this, and I can say this as a person who thoroughly has enjoyed every episode of Invincible that I've watched. The comic is better, but we always say that. Like, well, I won't say we always.
And please don't misunderstand me. I love every minute of this show. Like, don't get me wrong. I love this show. This show is amazing, phenomenal, and it's gonna like pave the way for other shows.
And that's what it is, Jay. That's it right there. Like, I know I came away from this show and I was like, this feels like when you messed around and you watched something animated and you were like, this feels like the next step. Like, this feels like some next level stuff. Like, this feels like there are going to be shows that come after this that are going to be so influenced by it that we're going to be talking about. Like, in the same way how you had like Batman the Animated Series, it's like you had Batman the Animated Series and that changed. I mean, you can say animation in general, but definitely superhero animation. It's like after that show came out, everyone that was making cartoons with superheroes in it were like, we might need to do something different. Like, you know, like either we change the way we make stuff or we just don't make superhero stuff anymore. Whichever one you want to choose is up to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and I feel like Invincible feels like one of those kind of watershed kind of moments where there are going to be people that are going to kind of be like, we need to decide if we want to do this still or if we want to do something different.
Well, you look at it in the way that it's presented to you. It's not a half-hour show. It's a full-on drama with gore and slight humor in it, and it's just done like this is what the U.S. needs to make better animation across all genres of storytelling, like not just cartoons for kids. I know we get your Close Enoughs and your Final Spaces, but then we also get the Adult Swim stuff, and we don't really. It's not like in Japan where we get like any kind of genre animated form, and I think this is the one that could do that because it like. I caught myself saying like it's a shame that it's not live action because it has every trait of a live action. But I caught myself. I'm like, no, why should that be a shame? This is it's pride that they're giving you this, and it's
exactly.
And it might not be like the comic, but it sure as hell fucking looks like it.
Dude, it looks very much like the comic, and then on top of that. It's like it feels like the comic to me, at least. Like I can't speak for how everybody else feels, but and don't get me wrong, the tone is different. I understand that. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that the tone is the same as the comic, but there's a difference between like saying like, okay, does this feel like a TV show about that comic book, or does this feel like somebody just decided to take that source material and make their own show? And it feels like a show about that comic book to me. Mm-hmm. And it like, and I will say like, because don't get me wrong, aesthetically, all the character designs are like super, super, super close and accurate. But it's like if you had a story, like if everybody looked the way they were supposed to look, but nobody acts anything like how they act in the book, I wouldn't be like, oh, it's great. I would be like, it's weird because
we just talked about the Snyder Cut.
It's like my thought process 100% will be like, if they liked everything about it except the characters, then why would they even decide to make this? And I don't feel like that was the case. Like, I mean, obviously Robert Kirkman is executive producer, so he's not gonna feel like the characters aren't good.
But it's a Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg production.
Say again?
It's a Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg production, and they shit on everything they do.
Now, I will say Seth Rogen was actually decent as Alan the Alien.
You're so wrong for that. Decent.
What? He was.
He was great.
He was great.
I mean,
best performance done in years.
The scene should have been tweaked a little. The scene could have been tweaked a little bit. Like, I feel like that is one of the few scenes that should have been shot for shot. Especially with him being like a more lighthearted person. And yes, the line, you look pretty invincible to me. obviously amazing, but the way it plays out in the comic is just a lot better.
Jay, we've already discussed this. The comic is better.
I know. I'm sorry.
I'm not saying that you should stop saying it.
I even hate
it's on my mind.
Like, you know how much I hate comparing the source material to the actual adaptation. Like, I feel they could be separate.
You know that if Moses had read it, he'd probably be hating on this worse than you. He'd be like, "Why you even like this bullshit?" Derba.
But one of the things I can say about me is I can look past it and see the show for as great as it is.
Clearly.
Except for when One Pieces become boy shorts.
Yeah.
Tiger Claw says, I'm curious what Seth Rogen is going to do with TMNT since he's producing the animated movie.
I can tell you what he's going to do.
If
he's going to shit on it like he did everything else.
No, not everything.
If he's just front.
No, it is. Like, if you like the boys comic, sorry, Oz, but if you like the boys comic, he shit on it. If you like Preacher, he shit on it. If you like the Green Hornet, he shit on it. You know, like
I think I do agree with Green Hornet, but that's the only one. I haven't read Preacher, so I don't know.
Yeah,
Boys,
exactly.
I like the Boys TV show.
Yeah, but you didn't read the comics. Like, you're not a fan of the comics.
I did read the comics.
No, you didn't.
What do you mean? I did.
No, you didn't. Yeah.
Listen, I've read more boys comics than you have.
I know. That's why I love the show.
So anyway, here's the other thing we need to talk about in regards to friggin' Invincible.
Good shit.
The friggin'
Tiger Claw Moses, but it's good shit. It's some good shit.
Tiger Claw, here's the thing. It depends on how involved he is. If Seth Rogen is just funding it and lets, actual people who care about the product handle that, it'll be fine. It'll be great.
That's like what happened with Invincible.
Yeah, if he starts to fiddle around with it, then it's gonna turn into Green Hornet.
It's Seth Rogen.
This is the end was good.
Yeah, but that's not based on a comic book.
True.
Yeah, like, I mean, I love Superbad. It's one of my favorite movies, but it's not
based on a short story, though.
By him.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, but Preacher, like, he took a shit on Preacher.
I can't even argue. I didn't read Preacher, even though I want to. I need to go back and do that.
Nah, don't read it.
I do. Like, Preacher supposedly is amazing. Like,
the show,
I feel like the book, not watch it. I need to read it. Like, I didn't say anything about watching the TV show. What I said was I need to read it. Like, and I feel like Preacher is one of those joints where I need to like get an omnibus, or I don't know if it's one or two, but I need to get the omnibus, and like when I go on vacation, like just do it that way.
Yeah, it's definitely like reading it in one sitting. Yeah, I read it in multiple sittings, but yeah, it was like an omnibus thing. Like,
yeah,
just back to back, just bought everything, and then
but what I want to say about Invincible is this:
it might be dated. Like, you might not like the use of the N-word.
I mean, we'll see.
I mean,
you might be right.
Stephen King, if you could read Stephen King, he's fine with the N-word.
The best way I can say it, if you like Quentin Tarantino, you'll like Preacher.
Dude, he's just too much with it.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, King feels respectful, at least, when he overuses it. But Tarantino, it's like he gets off on it.
He does that.
Like Cecil using the teleporter. You ain't right, Quentin. You need to pay your taxes. What we need to talk about in Invincible, like, I know we did this story when the show like not when it got announced, but not a few months later, and they started talking about the voice cast. But man, it was one thing. Like, we knew that it had like some powerhouse people in the voice cast, but after actually listening to these performances, I was like, damn, like everybody on this cast brings their A game. And it's like, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to say that, you know, these are like people that don't normally perform, because they do. They're all like really great people that are super talented. But in this in particular, it feels like everybody is like super on point. Like, I'm talking about like the random ass security guards. Like I told you, like, you know, like that security guard had like, you know, the thing in the opening sequence, and then we don't even see him again until episode 2. And even in episode 2, I mean, he has a little bit more, but it's just like, it's like, dude, like there are people that are just emoting, like they're doing like background noise, and it's like, damn, that is amazing. Like that fool, I believe him when he was like, duck. You know?
Yeah, the voice cast is spectacular. Like, I would only make one change.
Get rid of Jason Mantzoukas.
You know, I'm conflicted about him, but no, I would have changed Seth Rogen. I would have replaced him with Jack Black.
Oh,
Who's doing Invincible? Is that Young?
Yeah.
Because I didn't recognize him at all. Like, I knew he was the star of the show. I'm sitting there trying to figure out what voice is he doing, which is a compliment.
Yeah,
you know?
No, I agree. He performs his ass off, and I hate to say it, but Jay is absolutely right in the fact that Jack Black would have done a better job than Seth Rogen.
They can,
but it turns out Seth Rogen is
fat guys.
Huh?
They're the funny fat guys. It's just Jack Black can be more eccentric,
crazy.
I guess.
Jack Black is actually better at it than Seth Rogen.
No, but first of all, here's
he's a better
thing.
improver.
Like, well, yes, like everything you all just said is true, but the problem you're all having is that you're putting Jack Black in a, you know, funny fat guy box, and Jack Black actually is like, he has much more range than that. Like,
no, definitely. Like,
yeah,
I always bring up The House with the Clock in its Walls. Like, that is an amazing movie and an amazing Jack Black performance.
And the cable guy.
Jack Black can do.
I don't remember him in The Cable Guy, but I remember him in Orange County.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, he was
We
great.
don't need all that extra stuff. We just need the funny fat guy for this.
Well, all I'm saying is,
I don't think so.
No, that's not true.
Especially if you've read the comic and you know where his character is going.
Yeah. You need some range with Alan. And don't get me wrong, Seth Rogen will do, especially considering that he funded the whole thing. It's like, okay, yeah, whatever you say, boss, you know, knock it out the park. But it's one of those things where it's like, Seth Rogen gonna need to step up. Like, you're gonna have to like Seth Rogen might want to mess around and get like some sort of coach or something to like just kind of brush up. Like, he may not have had to work as hard as this in a while.
Well, no, but the thing is, he can do serious acting. I've seen him do serious acting.
I mean, what have you seen?
What is it? The one with the cancer? His best friend's dying of cancer?
Oh yeah. Okay, I remember that.
I don't know what movie is it. I'll go check it out.
It's only Joseph Gordon-Levitt, where they're comedians and he's got cancer, and so it's comedy.
Yeah, I remember when that came out.
And then there's another movie where he's like, his wife wants to fuck other people.
I've seen that.
And he does that. You know?
I mean,
and even in Zack and Miri Porno, like he's more like, he is Seth Rogen, but it becomes a more serious version of him.
I'm not saying Seth Rogen is bad. That's not like, Seth Rogen probably has more range than most people that are as funny. Well, I shouldn't say that. What I'll say is,
he has more range than you probably think. What you're saying?
No, I don't think he had. Look, I let me put it like this. I think I'm giving him the credit I think he deserves. What I'm just saying is, he's not Jack Black. Jack Black's better.
See, and you guys are saying Jack Black, and I've been kind of rolling with it, but I'm a little disappointed that Mo hasn't brought up that Alan Tudyk should have been Alan the Alien.
Look, honestly, I thought he was one of those Guardian of the Globes guys. Like I thought he was like that stretchy one, and then I thought he was the other one because they were all really good. You know, like I thought he was the red ribbon guy or whatever.
Red Rush.
Yeah.
The mistake Alan Tudyk made was not being on The Walking Dead. If he was on The Walking Dead, he definitely would have been on this show.
Now, if I could sidetrack everything for a moment, like I know I've been behind, but I'm finally catching up on Resident Alien, and my God, that shit is phenomenal.
Well, not if you read the comic.
You're hilarious.
It's phenomenal.
Again, another joint where it's like, it's like, it would be different if I was like, it's the show is completely different from the comic. However, it doesn't feel like it's people that are like, oh man, that comic, like F that comic book, we're going to make our own show. It feels like they made a TV show that likes that comic too, but decided to do something different. Yeah.
Like when that dude was about to kill his wife, not because he hates her, but because he needs to sleep. Like I was rolling.
Spoilers.
But,
there you go. Yeah.
I wanted to ask you.
Yes.
You brought up Jason, and I always skip on his last name. Like, did you have an issue with him with his performance?
Well, when you talk about somebody that is really funny and can have range, I think he's it. And I don't think they ever utilize him for the range. They utilize him for that type of character. And I'm not, I want to say I'm tired of seeing him as that type of character, but not because he's bad at it, but because I want to see him do more. Like I'm a fan of his. And I really think he can do more. And it sucks that everything that's cool that he's in, that's high profile, they put him in that role. Like he's pigeonholed now and typecast, and I think he deserves a little better.
Now, my issue with him is just his voice is very distinct.
Mm-hmm.
And that can sometimes be distracting, but it definitely like it fits each and every one of his characters that I've seen.
Right.
But at the same time, it is a very distinct voice. And so it's hard to not like think of his other stuff while you're listening or while I'm listening to him.
I know how you feel. And I think like his voice, because it's so recognizable, takes you out of what that character is doing or what he should be doing or how he is, you know, like I don't think
a little bit
because they have typecasted him because of his voice and how his delivery for saying these crass things, like it just comes so naturally, he gets cast in that. Like I haven't seen somebody do like just roll off offensive shit like that, like since like Dice or Kinnison, you know, or there's few, you know, there's comedians that can do that, like stand-ups, and he's like one of them, and it's just I want to see him do something else. Like but I think he can do.
I don't feel like I mean, I think what I get what you're saying. Like I don't think either one of you are wrong. I will say though that despite how distinct his voice is, I don't feel like, say, Rexplode feels like the character from Big Mouth.
Right.
No, it doesn't feel like him. It just sounds like him.
But like the same way we're talking about like Steven Yeun, like you don't like Oz is like, who is that? Where's he?
Yeah, that's true.
It's like you have Jason Mantzoukas, you know who he is.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, and that kind of it separates it from the character. Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, like I love his performance. Like
it's good.
Like in particular, his fight with Monster Girl was amazing. Like he has the perfect voice for that. But I still can't help seeing Jay Blazarian from Big Mouth, or I forget what his name is in Close Enough.
Yeah. And Rafi in The League.
I didn't watch The League. Everyone told me to watch it, but I never got around to it.
Especially when you're high as fuck. Like, You know how sometimes when you're high as fuck, you get like paranoid.
Mm-hmm.
Put
That
the
always
league.
happens
Like
when I
you
get
think
too
you're gonna
high.
die because you can hear your heartbeat. Like put the league on. Forget all about that.
I will probably not try that. Like, I try not to get to the paranoid part of high
Yeah, but
if I
sometimes
can
you can't
avoid
help
it.
it. Just in case. Just
But
in
I
case.
should watch the league. I don't know. There's too much stuff right now to watch. Too many streaming services. Too much stuff.
If only there was like a
Just
way that
that.
we could like bundle all of the things that we wanted to watch into a group
There is
channel.
Apple TV.
And then
Dude, I would, if it was possible, I would piecemeal everything on Amazon. But not everything is offered.
So I know that, you know, we've talked about Invincible for a minute now. Is there anything that anybody else wants to say about Invincible, like some final kind of thought stuff before we give it a rating for this like premiere?
I 100% need a Seance Dog comic.
Seance Dog.
I need it.
So
Do a change.org.
That will
Seance
never happen. As long as pointed out.
right. So in the comic, the joint was Science Dog, not Seance Dog.
Right.
And it's an interesting, like one of those things where it's like, what? I wonder why they changed that, because apparently Science Dog was created by Robert Kirkman, so it's not like they had to change it because it was somebody else's like property or something like that. So they made like a conscious choice to make it seance instead of science.
Right.
And why? I don't know, but I like friggin' K9 Wizard seems interesting. I would borrow that comic from Jay.
Right. Speaking of, that does remind me there was one more change, a really big one that I expected, and I'm not disappointed about at all. But because it happens all the time. But the funeral for the Guardians of the Globe, one of the things that made it really cool in the comic was that it had characters from like all over Image, like all the different Image books were there at the funeral. So it's like one of those spectacle things, like kind of like when Superman died. And, you know, every time that's translated, all the other characters are taken out.
Yeah.
Just wanted to bring that up.
Cool. So, anybody got anything else before we decide to rate this?
The title screen.
Yeah.
Like
Wait,
how
you said
just
the title screen what?
I bugs me. I hate it. Don't like it. Mucho
Wait,
malo.
you don't like the
No
title
bueno.
screen?
Not the way they do it. Like the first time they did it, I get it. I see what they were doing and it was fine. But then to do it episode 2 and episode 3, and it's too much.
But it
I
has
feel
more.
like if they can keep doing it throughout, like if they keep doing it, if there's not a point where they give up because they can't do it, then I'm on board. But if they ever miss it,
See,
then
first
the whole
time it
thing
makes
was wasted.
the first time it makes sense, but then the second and third time it just feels more random, like it just happened.
But it doesn't
I mean,
feel like
that's what the comic was like. The comic was pretty random at times.
But it's not like it feels forced. It's like it
does feel forced.
But I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I like it. Like if they can keep forcing it through.
And
apparently I use the term invincible more often than most people. I didn't. I'm like, people say invincible all the time, and it's like, oh wait, no, they don't. Oh, okay. That's just me. Got it. Okay,
but it's a.
I didn't realize like
it's a compliment to the show that I'm criticizing the title card.
No, I agree. Like Oz is like, I need to find something to hate, and this is it.
I like that they didn't change the font. Why are you laughing?
Because that sounds like 100% such a Moses Magnum thing to say.
Yeah.
Because if they had changed the font, you'd be like, why did they change the font?
That's the comic thing they would have changed that I would have been the most pissed about.
The comic thing he would have changed that he would have been the most pissed about the comic he didn't read.
I read some of it, and I read it randomly. I didn't read it like month to month.
And what he knows is that when he read it, the font was that font.
Like,
That's what he knows.
I read enough to know that some things they rushed, or not rushed, but they move faster than it should have happened in the comic. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
I read
they
enough,
totally skipped the school bombing or the
Right.
mall bombings.
and then I read enough to know, like, recognize Alan the alien, maybe not in dialogue, but in look.
Mhm.
Like, oh shit, they put him here. You know, I was delighted to see it. So I've read enough. I just didn't want to become a fan because I knew they were making an adaptation back then. And then that movie with Mark Wahlberg came out called Invincible, and I thought it was that, and I was mad when it wasn't.
Yeah, I felt the same way about that movie Nightcrawler.
That was pretty good, though.
And Fury, I felt the same way with Fury. I thought it was about the Howling Commandos because, you know, it's World War II, a tank brigade, like, and a ragtag team of people, wild characters, like, yeah. But yeah,
You're right.
well, yeah, I would have been mad about the font, and maybe not as like righteously about it, but you know, I'm glad they didn't change it, and I like that they add more blood each episode. You know, that's what I failed the show. I should have done the logo with blood on it for thematically.
If only we had several versions of that ready to go on
Right.
deck.
And actual blood splatter, like, ready to just paste on it. Like, I'm sorry, I'm trying to get Joe a new mic.
What?
I'm busy at work.
So Oz, what would you
He's
rate?
right now.
What would you rate Invincible?
Out of 5?
Yes, Oz. That's the system
first-
we use, Oz. How many?
Not always.
How many? Like how many?
Mustaches.
No. How many
How
coughs?
many awesome
cough up-
stashes?
Fine, because Jay is like wanting to steal my thunder. How many mustaches out of 5, Oz?
4. It would have been higher, but the conversation we had last week, Joe convinced me that it's crap. If those booty shorts are that low, like, she might as well just be wearing pants. At that
Look,
point.
I was just thinking that. I was like, we should just put her in like a full. We should just put her in
Doc
a
Martens or
friggin-
something. Why even wear pink? You know?
Put her in a habit. She's a nun already. I agree. You're right.
Or a hijab.
See, I didn't say that.
It's the same thing as the habit.
No,
I thought it.
no,
It's just not, it's just not
No, it's
offensive
it's
to white
absolutely
people.
not.
It's just
Listen,
not offensive to white people.
Why is Mo trying to get us canceled?
Because that's the only way we can make news. It's like local podcast that nobody gives a shit about is canceled.
I mean,
Wait,
we'll-
wasn't one of us supposed to kill our wife or something?
Yeah,
To get us in the news?
but we're waiting for you to get married.
I don't know anything about that. Joe's the least invested.
the problem is, if I fail, she's coming for vengeance on all of you.
On all of us. Wait a minute. Why all of us?
I don't believe in ghosts.
Because she wants me to watch you guys die slowly and painfully before my eyes before she comes after me.
She thinks he cares about us.
What?
She knows I care about the show.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that Amber likes me. I don't think she's gonna mess around.
Lawrence,
I
you're the
don't
first
think
one to go because you're the
Oh,
easy
son of a-
target.
Oh,
Like
I definitely look. Apparently so, because I thought she was okay.
You're the one sitting there waving high as the knife like plunges into your heart. You're still like, oh.
As you're going like this, saying babushka, she's ripping your heart out.
Damn, like Indiana Jones.
Yeah,
it's terrible. Okay,
You know,
so how many?
You know, the first day she met a friend of the show, Ted again, he told Steph to sleep, right? That was the first coming.
Oh, so close.
yeah.
It was like
You were saying that she told him.
I don't know what she told Tedekin, but apparently it's
4 out of
like,
5.
I don't know. What I'm hearing is Tedekin's dead already. We're sorry, Ted. We hope you make it into the afterlife, friend. The good place.
4 out of 5.
Jay. Thank you, us.
That comes out loud and clear.
Yeah, exactly. Jay, what would you rate Invincible?
I would give it a 5. Like, despite its failings and its changes, I really love the show. And not only do I love this show, but I really do think it is going to pave the way for better animated action shows.
Fair. Absolute. Moses Magnum, what would you rate Invincible?
It's a 5 out of 5. It's so good. I'm gonna go back and read the comic and be okay with the changes.
I don't believe that.
Which is like in the whole time this show has existed, I don't think there's one thing where that has been the case, and I think this might be it. But I'm afraid to go read it. Like, you know, me and my neuroses. Like,
I'm afraid for you to go read it too.
Yeah, I think I'll like both.
I hope.
I want Mo to review the entire show, and then read the comic, and then review the show again.
Well, if you want that, then you're gonna have to hit the like and subscribe and all that, because
you got to subscribe to the Patreon on us.
We can't spend week by week on this. That's gonna be in the one shot playlist or the Fraction of Forever playlist.
There it
which
is.
is probably dead now because I haven't done anything.
It's okay.
I know I'm gonna keep watching it.
There it is. So I give it a 5 as well.
Nobody cares.
I thought it was amazing. Nobody cares.
I care.
I know. I'm just kidding. I always forget that you haven't rated stuff, and then you were surprised. Oh, we're still talking about it.
we literally look at you. The only reason we went off topic because you just started talking about Fraction Forever like 2 seconds ago. It wasn't even
and
that
I
long.
started talking about Amber killing Tedekin.
That happened before we were even rating.
No, that happened during his rating.
Yeah, that was part of my rating.
Literally, this was talking. He was trying to make a joke. His system went out. We were like, okay, kill Tedekin. Then he was like 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5.
Technically, 4 out of 5 happened, and then I started talking about the title cards. So this was like 20 minutes ago that we started.
Well, that's fair. Okay.
I was ruining the
There
show.
it is. You're welcome. You're welcome, audience. My bad.
I'm gonna yell at Oz off the air.
Got it. Good. As you should. Okay, let's talk about Final Space.
I do have to pee, so there's
I
that.
mean, you should definitely take yourself off a camera before you start doing that. We don't
No,
want to see it.
Oh, this isn't live on OnlyFans?
Just make sure that you wipe the camera.
It
off
actually
after
is.
You're done. We don't want to see that.
they just never chat because their hands are too busy.
What do you think this cup is for? I need the extra width.
And it's painted black, so it's not see-through, and he accidentally drinks from it too.
Wow.
Okay, you guys talk about Final Space, and I'll be back.
I just didn't watch Final Space. That's why I said go see.
Did you watch Final Space?
You should put a scroll that says spoilers over for.
Oh, there it is. You got that, Jay? You know, I'll do it while you look. Jay, why don't you talk about Final Space? What is it? And tell the people what it is and what we're talking about today.
Final Space is an animated sci-fi comedy about a guy who gets imprisoned for impersonating an officer on Earth. He gets put in a space prison. He meets this super powerful alien from a dimension called Final Space, and he escapes from prison to he escapes from prison and basically ends up having to protect this alien because everyone, like all these people, are interested in getting the alien because of the powerful potential of Final Space. So we start season 3. It happens after the release of the Titans through a breach in Final Space, and the Titans are fighting each other. And in the middle of this, Gary, that's our lead's name, Gary Goodspeed, him and his crew, escape from the initial battle of the Titans. They land on an asteroid planet, get separated, and they're trying to make their way back to each other.
That pretty much sums it up.
Right.
I agree.
Boo. Peeing ass eyes.
It took him longer to see because he couldn't find the tweezers.
See, I was just saying that he had to pee at an inopportune time. I didn't make any kind of assertion that he has a small penis.
You guys don't understand how great it is to have a bathroom you can pee in.
I have 2.
What does that mean? Like,
When
when
my studio was the barn, there's no bathroom in the barn. I had to go outside and pee outside in the dark.
Why couldn't you just walk back to the house?
Because it would take me 20 minutes to walk to the house, pee, and then walk back to the studio.
The barn was like a football field away from the house.
Is the barn that far from the house?
We've had this conversation before, Lawrence.
Yeah, on the air.
Listen, how many times y'all have to tell? I don't remember.
Real quick,
Uh-huh.
at Just V says, "Hey y'all."
Hey, what up, Just V? Good to see you. Yeah, that's awesome.
We've had this conversation. Barn from house, at least 400 feet.
My experience watching Final Space season 3 premiere was like, dude, I watched it and it's like all this shit happening. It takes place like immediately after the season 2 finale, which I just watched, I want to say about a month or 2 ago.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, all this amazing shit happens. And then it says Final Space. It's like all this amazing shit happened before the opening credits. Like, this is how amazing this show is. And usually I'm afraid of season premieres because they're not going to be as good. And so far up to the 3rd season, every season premiere has been like awesome. And then the rest of the episode was awesome too, but it's just little shit that like just character shit with Gary. It's fucking tight. Like, he's over here, he sees all his dead bodies from all the different timelines coming to rescue this chick. And he's like, you die every time. And he goes, and I'm going to keep dying. You know, like, that's fucking bad. It's like, it's almost badass as if he saved it. But he just keeps doing it. And then Bolo, the fight with Bolo and the other Titan, like, fucking, like, it's just some, yeah, like Guardians of the Galaxy wishes it was this amazing because they have that similar vibe. And I feel like they should have got this guy to do Guardians of the Galaxy if they wanted to do something really fucking. It's sensitive, but it's sci-fi, and then it has fucking balls, and then it has humor. But then the humor isn't even like it's kind of like somewhat high concept but accessible without it being crass. And you compare shit to like Rick and Morty, and it's like that, but the crassness is what kind of makes it accessible because everybody will laugh at a dick and fart joke. You know what I mean? Even though it's a quantum fart. Yeah.
Right.
But
no, I would agree with you though. You're right. Like this, like I could totally see this guy doing like a Guardians
Right.
I guess a Guardians movie.
Yeah.
If
But it's just the whole series is so amazing, and I'm finally happy that we get to talk about it because I've been trying. I mean, it was something that I remember watching for the first time, and I'm going back to season 1 because, I've been holding this shit for like 3 years, and Joe and I've been trying to get you guys to fucking watch it and talking, and we still couldn't get Oz's bitch ass to watch it. So here we are, but. It was just so
the barn.
It's so fuck the barn. Move out to California and get some decent Wi-Fi. Rich man, motherfucker makes 6 figures, can't get good Wi-Fi. It's tethered to his fucking phone. I'm only taking it out on you because I've been wanting to talk about Final Space, and now I'm happy that we're talking about it. And I'm happy,
and now you get the opportunity to, and you spend it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because shit can't be too good. Shit can't actually happen.
I just want everyone to take note that this is Mo happy. This is happy Mo.
Happy.
This is happy Mo right now.
This is what we've been dealing with for like 20 years.
Consider yourselves fortunate. You got happy Mo today.
But
go.
Just from the beginning, like it was something that I wanted. Like I remember asking Joe because I know once I saw it, I'm like, I'm pretty sure he saw this or he needs to see it. And I asked him, and he's like, "Oh, dude, yeah, I love it." And then we've been telling you, Larry, about it, and you finally saw it, and then Oz still hasn't seen it. But it's like just everything, just the build-up from season to season, the way the story and the characters, just it gives you like 15 arcs of characters, and it's like it doesn't focus. It has the main focus, but everything kind of all these arcs come back around. It's really organized storytelling. And nothing. You talk about random shit in Invincible, and here it's like even the most random shit isn't random, And it's
okay.
It's just full on sci-fi, and it's slapstick, and it's it's just I just love it. Like just Mooncake, like Mooncake is like Mooncake. That's a weird thing, and then all of a sudden he has the power to destroy planets, and then it's like. Gary's the only one that's like, no, they think you're a monster, but I know who you are to me, and that's all that matters. That like ambiguity of morality. Like, if he wants to save the galaxy, he could just kill Mooncake if he's just this righteous zealot, But he's not, because he's fucking Gary.
Right.
Fucking Gary.
Like I'm about to say, like that's the right way to describe him. Fucking Gary.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I will say
and then the reveal, that like bounty hunter reveal, like in the first season, and it's the chick, but from a different timeline.
Yeah,
fuck
right.
Should we have the scroll saying spoilers over?
You know what? Fuck it.
Because it sounds like we're spoilering again.
I'm spoiling it, but people need to see this. And guess what? Even if it's spoiled, you're still gonna have an amazing time watching it.
Well, that's actually kind of what I was gonna say. Because I watched season 1. I didn't get to watch season 2. Because I was trying to like make enough time throughout the week to watch both seasons. It didn't happen. I watched the first season, and then I was like, okay, well, let me cut my losses and let me watch season 3. So I watched the 2 episodes in season 3. And I watched the end or season 1. So, but here's the thing. Going from season 1 to season 3, I'm like, damn, I gotta watch season 2. To just be like, how in the hell did we get from here to there? Like, and here's the thing. I watched like season 1 or episode 1 of season 3 had like a recap. So the recap was good enough that I didn't feel like, oh, I don't understand what's happening. I knew what was happening, generally speaking.
So you didn't get to see Alan Tudyk in Final Space?
I don't know. I guess not. I don't know. I don't know what Alan Tudyk does in Final Space.
He's in season 2. He's the red monster guy with the big head that takes it off, and he's just like a regular ass buck-toothed dude.
Well, then absolutely, Mo. Absolutely, I didn't see that. But what I'm saying to you is, like most shows, if I was like, and don't get me wrong, it's like, shows like, I mean, TV is TV, right? And to a degree, they're like, we need to make sure that the recap is thorough enough that if this is their first episode, they need to be able to follow it.
Mhm.
And it was, because it wasn't like I was like watching season 3, episode 1, like what's happening, how did they get here? Because the recap was sufficient. However, it didn't give me like the nuance of how we got from one point in time to the next point in time. And so, despite having watched episode 1 and 2 of the 3rd season, I'm totally gonna watch all of season 2 because I'm like, I need to see the nuance. And and here's the thing, it's like the other part of it too is just kind of like, which is like, it's funny because if you all remember when I talked about Guardians of the Galaxy, the first movie, I was like, Guardians of the Galaxy isn't the kind of movie that you can spoil, because nothing happens in Guardians of the Galaxy like the first movie that you're going to be like, oh man, I didn't know that was going to happen. It's like everything that everything that you think is going to happen in Guardians is going to happen. It's more about the ride. It's like experiencing it. So you watch the movie to see how it comes to be, like, so you can go through the moments yourself. And Final Space 100% felt like a much better version of that, where it's like, yeah, like I need to, like, because Gary's a nut.
Yeah,
that guy like says and does things just so like out of left field sometimes, and you're just like, wow, like I did not know he was going to do that. At the same time, he 100% would do that. Where it's like it feels random and in character at the same time, which is very deft in characterization. Like I was watching it and I was like, man, I hope one day I could write a character like that where I could, like, it can feel that way. And I 100% am like, I don't know if I can. I don't think I'm that dude.
And it's interesting, like, even though he's the lead character and you kind of expect it, he just gets a ton of great character moments, which is like, it's kind of an amazing thing, especially for the tone of the show. Like, you do expect them to kind of go more comedic, do kind of like your base adventure type thing, but they actually do a lot with these characters.
He does both.
Right.
And Steven Yeun is in it too.
Yes, he is. Yeah, and Tika Sumpter. I'm like, oh, she's good.
And Ola Rogers.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is. Who's that?
That's Gary.
No, he's not Gary. He's a what's his name? Tribor?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
See, Oz would love Tribor because Oz is kind of like our Tribor sometimes.
I'm gonna need a little bit more.
He had a baby from his back.
No, wait, he is Gary too. He's Gary and Tribor.
Wait, so he's like he's a Mogwai?
And Mooncake.
Oz does always have his tongue out his mouth.
I've never had a baby out of my back though.
So says you.
I may have had a baby. I don't know.
Look, none that you claim.
Damn right.
His back that he claims.
Why do you think I left California?
There it is. Right, running.
I went through all that up and down the coast.
How awesome was Tribor's baby though?
He was so funny.
Why does he speak Spanish?
Because he had it with the Mexican chick on that desert, like Western planet.
Yeah, because language is genetic, as we all know.
Right. See? That's why you don't watch the show, Oz.
Yeah, say that when you watch the show.
I want to watch it. I just forgot.
But Larry, now Do you remember? You probably see. That's why I wish Oz, because Larry's not going to remember this. But when we were mad at, was it the Star Trek Lower Decks for like taking that vibe? Or
Wait. We were mad, or I was mad.
No. Well, you were mad for whatever dumb reason you have, but Joe and I were mad because it was like a ripoff. It felt like a ripoff of Final Space.
And
I
it
do
looked
remember
like it.
you all
And
saying that.
it looked like it too. It even had the cat people that Final Space had.
Yeah. Even though those were cat people that were in the in Star Trek.
In the original shit, the original animated series.
Right.
I'm a Trekkie now, so I know. But.
Oh, got you. Hilarity.
So now
but no, I remember you all saying that, and having watched it, I can understand why you feel the way you all feel now.
Well, we would until we actually watched Lower Decks, because it's a very different show too.
It is.
Once you watch it, the writing and the style is very Star Trek.
Exactly.
And it's a lot different.
And the way they
visually,
promoted
it still does kind of look like it, but it's definitely a different show, like a different vibe.
But if you watch the trailer, like the teaser for like that first season, it's like they were trying to go for the Final Space crowd. Yeah.
Right.
They're like, if you like Final Space, you'll love.
If you're trying to tell me Final Space is like Lower Decks, and you're not convincing me to watch it.
It's not.
That's what we're saying. We're actually saying the exact opposite.
Okay, I'm sorry. Lawrence was explaining it wrong. I was listening.
Oh, how dare you!
My bad. That's I should know better at this point. You're right. I apologize.
I'll explain you wrong.
And then he's gonna have a baby out his back.
Like it's just 2 hours ago. I literally thought Lawrence was looking for a drug dealer because he didn't explain something right.
It sounds like
we had this conversation over text because I thought, okay, so Lawrence needs drugs. Okay, well, let's find him some drugs.
And I went to the place where everyone goes for drugs, Facebook.
Yeah.
I'm not on Facebook, so I don't know what people do there.
Get drugs.
Do we want to rate it now, or is there more we should talk about?
Well, I'm interested to hear, I will say this. I'm interested to hear it at the very least, because I know you, Mo, and you, Jay, have watched, of course, this show and are fans of it. Where are we going from here? What do you think? Because I know watching these first 2 episodes of season 3, I was like, geez, okay, I need to catch up and watch season 2. But also, I'm just kind of like, well, what are we going to do? What's going to happen next?
I do have a question, but let's answer whatever Lawrence rambled on first.
So I can't tell you because I think where I think it's gonna go, it just ends up not going there, and it gives me other after the end of season 1, each episode started with a countdown of oxygen, 8 minutes left, and each episode was 1 less minute until it got to the end, right?
Mm-hmm.
You saw that. There, you saw that. Why are you so surprised?
But no. You're talking about. Oh, okay. No. I know what you're talking about. Okay. Gotcha. No.
So
he explained it wrong to himself in his head.
No. I got you.
So
okay,
when it got to that, it's like, okay, well, what do we I was expecting some kind of countdown or something in season 2, and or something similar, and then it's not. It turns into this full-on quest that can go multiple seasons, but then you see a guy that has a vendetta on him for killing his wife, on Gary, and then you see his relationship with his mother. It's like, oh my god, this could spawn into 4 different. We could have your Final Space SVU type, your Final Space criminal, and it's like, and then it goes where it goes, and then the beginning of season 3, it's like, oh shit. So I try not to worry about where it's gonna go. It's almost like the actual moral of the story is live in the moment, even if you're in a space prison, only eating cookies, and then seek that moment as you go. Because I can see him making amends with his mother, or shit like that. But then it's like, he could just die again because the time's like, well, you didn't succeed. You could, this is still part of your fate of dying again. So yeah, it's
What do
hard
you
to
think,
say where
Phil?
it's gonna go, but I'm in it for the long haul, man. Wherever it goes, I'm there.
So I know Olin Rogers says he has at least he has plans for 6 or 7 seasons at least. So I'm thinking that this season is going to end up with the Titans in kind of like a soft reboot where we're back at Earth, but in the middle of a Titan war. I think that's where we're going.
That's interesting. But when you say that, you mean so it might be a similar kind of fight like what we saw, but with them smashing into Earth?
Yeah, well, with Earth responding, when we have the Earth Defense Force, I forget what they're called. Yeah, basically.
Okay. Interesting. Cool. All right. Well, shoot. Let's wrap up and let's talk, or let's rate Final Space season 3.
Well,
Mo, what would you?
had a quick question
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
because you guys told me to watch season 3. Is this the type of show where I need to watch season 1 and 2 to really enjoy season 3, or is it just
You're gonna get a lot more out of it. Like Lauren said, the recap is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So if you just wanted to go from season 3, I think there's a good foundation in the recap, and the first 2 episodes actually do give you a fair amount of character so that you kind of get a lot of who these characters are. You don't get everything. You don't get a lot about Gary's mom in this one, and you don't get the relationship between Little Kato and I can't remember what the girl's name is right now. But
yeah. She's a good character too, man. And that they're not even exploring her. It's just they explored her enough and gave you enough depth, but she's a really good character, and her backstory itself could be an old show.
right.
okay? So here's what I'm doing right now, because you guys have convinced me. The Fantastic Forum has convinced me. I'm sending an email to get a review copy of season 1, and I'll watch that by the end of next week. If it's good, I'll be into season 2, and if it's really good, I'll be caught up by the time we do the next show.
Jeez.
I will say the hook for the end of season 1 had me. I was already on board, but then that one hook where I was like, oh my God, what, where are you even going from here? It really got me, and then it really pays off for season 2.
Look, the fact that I'm even gonna try to catch up to you guys is a compliment to both the show and what you guys have described of the show, because
except for Larry, right?
Except for, I don't count Lawrence. You got to keep in mind that to get to that point, I might have to sacrifice watching Justice is Gray.
No one asked you to watch that.
No one needs to ask me to watch that. It's a thing. I have to watch it. But now I might skip it because of you guys.
Look, you're doing your yeah, you're welcome. And one thing I do have to say about season 1 is Oz personally, I defy you to watch season 1 and not want to watch the rest. This is there's no way that you Oz, there's no way that you can watch that and not like it.
I literally ran out of time. That's all it was. I would be if I had an extra day, I would have watched season 2, and it was bad time management. I'm like, damn. So I just got to go and because what we're supposed to be talking about is season 3. and I was just trying to make sure that I was like in the right place to like, you know, and yeah. So I'll have season 2 done by next week myself.
Just the Gary avocado little Cotto like dynamic in season 1 is just gives you a really good show. Let aside the whole thing about stopping a galaxy, a warlord trying to find this living weapon to open a portal to get these Lovecraftian gods in. That's all extra, but just that dynamic between Lil Cotto, Avocado, and Gary, it gives you a really good show. Like that could be the show in and of itself.
I tell you, my absolute favorite moment in the show involves that dynamic. Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to ruin it for you guys by saying what it is, but yeah, my favorite moment comes from that whole dynamic.
There it is.
Is it when so and so comes back?
No.
Oh, dang. All right. We need to do another review with spoilers. All right, I guess we'll talk about it on the air. Off air, I read me.
Mo, what would you rate Final Space Season 3 so far?
Look, Season 3, look, I'm doing the whole series review because I don't know, look, it took us this long to talk about the series to begin with. This is a 5 out of 5 series. Even if it's 6 and 7, if it could be Season 4 shitty, 5 okay, 6 good, and then 7 mediocre, it's 5 out of 5.
Got it. Jay, how about you?
I'm of a similar mind. I don't know if I would go 5 out of 5, like 4.75 out of 5.
9.95.
Yeah, like it is damn near the perfect show.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'd have to agree. Even though I'm missing the whole season, but I like it a lot. I would give it 4.5 only because I haven't done my due diligence. So, you know, it doesn't get a 5, and that's my fault, not the show's fault.
So, season 2, Larry, does this thing where you have let's say your team, your Guardians team, like that's the season 1 team, right? The people you know, and then in season 2 you get a second team that are like your rival, like Starjammers-y, like that basically own them as slaves, but then they become like integrated as a family together and become this like really good team. It's like the best part of like maybe I don't know, maybe like a Avengers and Avengers West Coast, kind of like coming together. It's kind of one of those vibes, and they just do it so well.
No, I listen. I feel where you're coming from. I think, and ironically enough, they might be doing something similar in the Guardians comics right now.
Well, yeah, because they have the show to work off of.
That's it. They're like, oh, we need to be more like Final Space.
Yeah.
But they're definitely trying to do like some back to basics type of stuff in the Guardians of the Galaxy comic book, where like it's still the like movie Guardians for the most part, but it's them like back in those like classic Guardians kind of costumes, and then it's like them with the whole like the like Annihilation Marvel Cosmic people.
Wait, so Gamora's not there?
Huh?
Gamora's not there?
Yeah, absolutely.
She is?
She is, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, it's like I said, it's like the original like comic book or the original new Guardians of the Galaxy are pretty much all there. And they're wearing like, you know, like the kind of like the OG new Guardians kind of outfits. But then you still have like all the like Annihilation people that are part of it in this new wave too. So you have like Nova, Rich Rider Nova is a part of the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Wait, how's he back?
He's been back for a minute now.
Dude, I really need to keep up on my Marvel Cosmic.
There you go. Moondragon, friggin' Phyla-Vell, friggin' the
Moondragon?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I used to love her,
I
kind of.
know. Or, well, yeah,
Oh,
kind of the right way.
she's a her again.
Yeah, she's been in her, hasn't she?
Not in MC, not in Netflix. In
Moondragon?
Netflix, he was a black guy.
No, I think you think about somebody else. Moondragon's not on
No,
Netflix.
he taught Hellcat how to fight, just like Moondragon did. That's Moondragon.
So mad at you.
Why? Did Moondragon not teach Hellcat how to fight?
I'm not saying that's not true. What I'm saying is that's not Moondragon.
That's Moondragon.
No, it's not Moondragon.
It's Moondragon.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
It's MCU Moondragon.
Yeah, MCU
Quasar.
Moondragon's a black guy that knows karate.
Quasar's in there, and they got Marvel Boy. So yeah, all these people. But never mind. That's not.
Wait, Marvel Boy?
Yeah, Marvel Boy. Yeah.
And he's going by Marvel Boy again.
No, I think he's going by what's he? Genus Fell? No, not Genus Fell. That's the second Captain Marvel. No, he goes by I don't think he's using Marvel Boy. I think he's using his Kree name. I can't remember what that is off the top.
Okay.
But yeah, so it's gonna be interesting to see how this all pans out for this next kind of like phase for Guardians of the Galaxy, but that's neither here nor there. We should do some news and talk about,
Comic book news.
We should have a
Comic book
like Kurt. Well, not like that, but like
Where's the chunk?
you want the chunk.
Chunk!
Comic book news.
We should have a
Comic book
like Kurt.
news.
Well, not like that, but like
Yeah, that's that chunk.
no.
Hold on, you gotta change that. That's gotta be Lawrence doing the chomp.
Well, I was,
I think we should replace him with the dude from Resident Alien.
I'm
What the hell is a dot?
I'm actually working on that right now, but I've been editing a lot of shit, so I have the actual project file. It's just not done yet.
Listen, that's probably one of the best parts of that, like, first few episodes where he's like, "What the hell is chunk?" Like, so funny, man. I'm like, come on, dude. Like, that's so funny. That, like, obviously, Alan Tudyk is the star of Resident Alien. Like, that show doesn't work without him. But 100% the show would be lesser without that fool sheriff. Like, that guy is hilarious.
Black Compact in chat says so much editing. I feel you, Mo.
Yeah,
That's real.
look, I'm editing shit for this show and my side hustle
Right.
that I can't talk
Look.
about.
Here's the thing that Black Compact doesn't even realize is this show, Fantastic Forum, has 2 editors, and we're both busy on stuff.
Yeah.
I would venture to say that we have 3 editors, and they still, like, it's still too many people do.
Wow, Jay, you're editing stuff now too?
Who, me?
No, Jay.
Oh, Jay.
I do some of our one shots.
Oh, my bad. 3 editors. I didn't.
There it is. That's what I'm saying. It's like
I just wish Lawrence would consider himself more than just talent.
that's it. Well, listen, if you were as pretty as me, Oz, you would understand. But it's okay. Maybe one day.
Look, you're right. I'm the best parts of me are below the waist, and I can't show that on YouTube.
Are you
What
talking
are
about? You're talking about your.
That was a penis joke, Lawrence.
Usually low.
He's
navel?
got pretty feet.
He's talking about his voluptuous kneecaps.
He gets 2 pedicures a week.
Oz got the best toenails in the business.
I actually do. We're doing news right now.
Right. So WonderCon was this past weekend.
Did you watch any of it?
I did a little bit of it.
Was it
Not
better
enough.
than last year?
Huh?
Was it better than last year in terms of like technical shit and like the way they presented the project. And
Huh? No, I mean, listen, man. Listen, here's what I know. I don't think any of us thought that we would still be in this same position a year later. And, it shows. That's all. That's really the long and the short of it. Don't get me wrong. It wasn't like, I can't say it was like, I think that overall WonderCon had, from what I saw, had better presentations this year than they did the year previous. At the same time, it wasn't of a caliber that I would be like, oh, well, they obviously knew and were prepared to have like a presentation in this format. I think they, just like I think many of us were under the assumption that we would be able to be doing things a lot closer to normal by now. And that hasn't been the case. And, we're rolling with the punches. Hence, WonderCon at Home 2021.
Speaking of trying to get back to normal, San Diego Comic-Con, November?
Right.
What do you got?
And this is what I want to talk about, because it's like, what one thing I can say is this, is WonderCon at Home, it did happen. And obviously, well, I won't say obviously, what I'll say is there were very few noteworthy things that came out of WonderCon. It's not to say that WonderCon is usually this huge powerhouse of all this news that comes out, but in the past, a con like WonderCon is big enough that companies will try to save like an announcement or maybe two for WonderCon just so they can be like, hey, this is what we announced at WonderCon, Especially considering that, it's the same people that throw Comic-Con. So you want to keep those people like, we want to make whatever you do, we want to make it feel relevant. And of course, that didn't really happen this year, at least as far as I know. I don't know if you all have heard anything that came out of WonderCon that was like significant, but realistically speaking, it's just, there's like some semi-noteworthy stuff that came out with people like, that had like conversations. And it's like, oh, that's interesting that they felt this way or that they said this, but nothing that was like, this was news they saved for WonderCon, And it's really crazy that that's been the case, but in this era, like in this year where we've had everything kind of shut down, people have kind of learned to like save their good stuff for their own like digital or at-home events. And so, they're not trying to like necessarily, for lack of a better term and to coin a phrase of Moses Magnum, they're not trying to like blow their good load at the random digital convention. They're like, well, we're probably going to have our own digital spectacular that we need all of our stuff for, so that when we decide to like announce what we're doing, people can be like, man, such and such had a great digital presentation because they announced this and they told us this was happening and they showed us footage from that and da. You know what I mean?
I'm part of the lexicon now.
Mo is part of the lexicon. Mo is from Lexington.
Yeah, with the good load.
Mo's.
Oddly enough, coining that term was my good load.
That's it. He's peaked.
I guess.
Mo's like, give him some OJ and 45 minutes.
Yeah, then I'll come up with something good.
I guess my question is, do I need to start making plans to go to California?
So I knew you were bringing that up. So I actually tested my risk factor tolerance, I guess is what you could call it. I've been trying to get a vaccine to no avail. For some reason, I'm not obese enough. And they're like, oh, obese. And then they look at my body and they're like, no, but you all of a sudden what the doctor says is you're a fat fuck is not fat fuck enough to get to be considered. Like, it's like we can tell you have lean body mass, and that would they. So it's like, I don't think
lean body mass.
Yeah. So look, I'm like, do my organs weigh, like, does my small intestine weigh 100 pounds? Is that what you're telling me? Like,
Well, yeah, but full of so much shit.
Yeah. Hey, okay. I have enough
the good
fiber, but
shit.
yeah. I can look the shit comes out of my mouth. But the gym opened up, and I went to the gym, and I'm like, I saw the news about Comic-Con, and then I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna go to the gym. I called up. I need to make a reservation because I know there's a 10% capacity, whatever. The lady's like, oh, we never meet capacity, and then hangs up on me. And I'm like, whoa. In my mind, I'm like, do you not meet capacity because people don't show up? Or do you not meet capacity because you're not compliant? Because that's two different things when it comes to risk factor tolerance.
Right.
In the words of the great Fauci. I took a risk and I went. I tell you, man, I walked into that cloud of germs. I can see
Oh no.
And I was gonna turn back, but I went so early that it's like I got 3 hours till I gotta be at work. What the fuck am I gonna do at that early in the morning? Like, you know what? I might as well just risk it and work out. I got an okay workout, but it was too packed. There was too many people. So I'm like, I've been cavalier about this Comic-Con. Fuck it, I'm going to Comic-Con. I'm going to LA Comic-Con when it happens. They got canceled. I'm going to Comic-Con when it happens. They got canceled. Now it's like, you know what? If I go, I'm gonna die. Like, all right, I'm accepting that I'm probably gonna die if I go. So I think I would go in November, and I'm gonna die. My mother-in-law was telling me, oh, you can go to this place. If you go at 8 a.m. here on Vermont and whatever, you can get on the waiting list, and they'll give you a vaccine. If you go to downtown at 6 a.m. on a Wednesday, you'll do this. And I'm like, look, I'm a working man. I don't got time to do that shit. I'm running a business. I'm running 3 businesses here. I don't got time for this. So it's like, you know what? It's actually easier to just die.
I mean,
well, yeah, that's always easier.
Yeah. So I've accepted my fate. Like that. That's what I'm doing.
Old boy says, death is lighter than a feather, duty heavier than a mountain.
Yeah. Well, Sun Tzu said that.
So is that a yes?
Yeah. Come to Comic-Con. It'll be just you and me. We'll smoke. And at that point, we'll bring PCP and shit because people aren't probably going to show up anyways. It's just you, me, and the creators, and I'll give them some PCP. We'll do whatever because we're probably going to die.
Look, whatever is out of your system and can't be tested for within a week, I'm down for.
Look, if you die, you don't need it out of your system. Who cares?
No, I'm not worried about dying. I'm worried about being fired.
Yeah, but if you die, you don't have to worry about being fired. You'll be at peace.
But if I live, I do.
You'll go to heaven. You're not gonna live. I'll make sure you don't live.
Whoa!
I don't like the way you said that.
What is happening right now?
Remember,
Amber just he's gonna murder Oz at the end of the Comic-Con weekend. That's what I heard.
No, we can't say murder because that's demonetizing.
Oh,
so we're gonna take risks. We have a low risk factor tolerance.
Amber will feel vengeance. So
but I'm gonna be dead too. So what do I care?
Here's what I feel, and I could be wrong.
She'll take out Harvey, by the way. She don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Look, I think I'd be more dangerous as a ghost anyway. So
okay, I was like, Lawrence was gonna say something innocuous and
hey, Lawrence is showing us his pussy.
This is Selena. She decided to jump up here because I don't know why. I don't think if she realized it was a camera, she would totally go away. But Selena, see, there's a camera right there. Selena.
She don't care.
Anyway,
just like us. Go ahead.
So, I believe personally, like because they put this joint on Thanksgiving weekend, which is wild, especially considering that very few people got to spend Thanksgiving with their families this past year, that this very well might just be like another Comic-Con kind of ploy where they're like trying to make sure that they don't get like screwed out of their deposit from San Diego, and like they're hoping that San Diego would be like, okay, hey, you can't have that event, so here's your deposit back. So
here's my question.
Yeah.
Yes, and this is probably off-air stuff, but I think it's funny to do it on air. Because you three are in different locations right now. If I'm there on Wednesday do we all do this from one location?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like in my opinion, especially like let me say this real quick. I don't know what the situation is for Mo right now in regards to vaccination, but I firmly believe we're going to make sure Mo's vaccinated by November. Like I have no question in my mind that that's going to happen.
Now, keep in mind, I won't be vaccinated. I've turned it down twice.
Why are you
You
getting that
cocksucker.
vaccine?
He's waiting for his parents to get it, right?
Yeah,
That's what you said last time.
if my parents can't get it, I'm at less risk than my parents. So until they get it, I don't feel right getting it myself.
Your
But
parents are here in
I'm
California,
essential.
right?
I'm essential, so it's been offered to me. So if I show up to your guys' place to do this on Wednesday, do I have to wear a mask?
Well, we're all going to be vaccinated.
Right. Like the only person that'll be in danger is you if you're not vaccinated.
Oh, I'm good with that. This is how we're going to do the show.
It's like, look, if we're vaccinated, you're not gonna give it to us.
I mean,
like,
even if you do, like, we're not gonna die from it.
right, we'll be fine. Like you're
Which
the one
sounds
that'll
like some
be-
faith-based bullshit too. But who knows? I'm willing to risk it.
But your parents are here in California, right?
No, they're in Mexico right now.
Wait, where do they live?
They live in They have a house in Mexico.
So is
But
Mexico
as soon as pandemic hit, they went to Mexico because their house in Mexico is in the middle of nowhere where they don't have to be around people.
Well, but they have a house in California, right?
Yeah.
If they could come and get vaccinated and go back.
Yeah, like if they want to come back to California, we can.
If Mo can't get vaccinated, they're not going to get vaccinated.
No, they'll get vaccinated. Here's the thing.
Why won't they get vaccinated?
No, they can get it. I can't. I'm in a weird spot where it's like, they say by April 15th, I'm going to be able to. But then what happens is that I got to be on a list and I got to make an appointment. And because of how I work,
that's all beside the point, because whether I visit my parents is up to them, how they feel about it. But I'm talking about visiting you guys.
Yeah, no, we're going to be fine. Like,
okay.
Like if you want to come especially because like literally that's my birthday weekend. So if you want to come down that weekend,
how awesome is Comic-Con going to be your birthday weekend, Larry?
Here's the messed up part. Not awesome at all, because nobody wants to go to that Comic-Con.
Which brings me to question number 2. I have our portable broadcast studio. Should I bring that for Comic-Con weekend?
Yes.
Sure. Why would you not? There's no good reason not to bring it.
Look,
Even if we don't use it at Comic-Con, we can use it when we go out to eat.
If we're not going to broadcast from Comic-Con, there's no point in me carrying a giant suitcase of equipment.
Oh, no, never mind. Yeah, no, leave that at home, because we can broadcast with
Is it that big?
a backpack full of equipment.
It's big enough that I can't carry it. Like, it's not a carry-on. I have to check it in.
Oh, no.
But it's everything we need to broadcast from Comic-Con is my point.
Man, we're good with a Samsung Meteor mic. We can all talk into that at the same
Now, when you say
not.
everything we need, it's like, I mean, I feel like that's what, like, we might not need all that.
Like, you're outdated, man. We could do it from the phone.
Like you, all we need you to bring is that cell phone that had the Green Lantern sticker on it.
Look,
Right.
yeah, we could do it with a cell phone. Okay, I apologize. I meant if you want to do it professionally and look good, then yeah, I need to bring the studio.
Whenever you ever wanted to be professional and look good.
When we started doing video.
Oh, is that what we were trying to do? My bad. I'm sorry.
Like, I would get a haircut every 3 months when we were doing audio. Now it's like 2 weeks. I gotta go in there. Hey, you gotta trim me a little bit.
I'm sitting here like, man, I might need to buy like every like twice a week with Mo.
Oz has been cheating on me.
Look, you're in LA. I'm in Illinois.
I remember last time you didn't get a haircut for a year. So
as our listener on Twitch at Just V would say, Illinois.
Illinois. That was the jam. Damn, I miss Illinois. I need to put that on my phone.
I think I have that clip too.
Oh, please send it.
Shout out to the game developer from Voyager VR.
Ed Just V said, "OMG, yup." That's the jam.
Yeah, I think I have that in the remix version, the one where somebody turned it into a song.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Okay. All right.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'll take the raw footage, but no, I want the song. No, I want the song. That song was the jam.
Heck sent me some news that he did it just to troll me, and I just told him I'm like @2 Heck, like come on, man, like
Look,
really,
we all knew
like,
Heck was the enemy. We all knew.
He like Lucifer season 5B or 6B or whatever the fuck they're on is being released in like 2021. No, I mean, sorry, 2023, and it's like
3.
Wait, it's not 20. It can't be that.
It's some crazy shit where it's making me feel like they're waiting for Sandman to, like, they're waiting for Lucifer to fully end to give us Sandman, and that's just gonna be way too long. Like, I'm already itching for Sandman. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And it's like, but really, like, I was just mad that he put that on there because I know in the Sandman Reddit group I'm in, they posted that too. Like, they act like they like Lucifer so that I get pissed off.
It's
May
28th. It's 2 months from now.
Season what part?
5B, the second half of
right,
season.
and we still have 6A and 6B to come out.
Did they get 6 and 7?
Yeah, they did, and that's the thing that when I got onto that thread with Heck, it's like that's where I'm pissed because it's taking forever to come out, and then we still gotta wait.
That Lucifer.
Some fat like housewives like that think Satan is hot, like they don't like Lil Nas X giving Satan a lap dance, but they like some white chick fucking Satan. Like they're okay with that.
I like the show.
Yeah, some fat housewife like Oz.
I just love the fact that Mo is aware of Little Nas X giving Satan lap dances.
Who is it?
And wait, here's the makes me laugh and makes me so good is that Jay and Oz have no idea what it is that Mo is talking about.
I know what he's talking about, the lap dance and the shoes and the Nike lawsuit. I know all of that.
I don't know all of it, but I know a little bit. Like they've been talking about it on Twitter.
Have you seen the video?
No, just the thumbnail.
Have you seen the video, Oz?
No, why would I watch that?
Okay, well then you don't know what we're talking about.
I know what you're talking about. I know what happens in the video.
But here's the thing: like 6 seasons of a white bitch fucking Lucifer is fine, but a black dude giving a lap dance is like Satanic Panic 2021.
She doesn't fuck him until season 5.
But the tension in television is the tension. They want him to fuck. They want her to fuck Satan. Yeah. They're getting wet at the thought of her fucking Satan, but they're mad at Little Nas X giving Satan a lap dance in some Nikes.
I'm just saying, Saddam's been there, done that. That's all I know.
Hey, look.
Saddam sloppy seconds. That's all I know. I don't know what y'all are. Look, okay, whatever.
But that's
Saddam's like whatever, ho.
And that's the thing. So I got on Heck's like feed because he tagged me in it, and then somebody responded that they love the show, and of course you know how I react to that. But I didn't say nothing. All I said is like, you know, they're doing this much for this show, and they're delaying Sandman for a show that not even the cast wanted to be in. And then that person says, "Bullshit. They all love it," and it's like. No, there was a public contract dispute because the dude that plays Lucifer didn't want to come back. The people making the show did not. They wanted to end it at like 4 seasons or the beginning of season 5A. They wanted to end there. They didn't want to come back. That's the whole reason why it's taking so long too. Because they're like, well, if we're gonna do it, we gotta pay more. And of course, once I laid that fact to it, there's no response. So now I got all this pent up energy.
I think it was supposed to end at season 4. Season 4 ends with Lucifer back in hell.
Look, it was supposed to end when it got canceled at Fox because nobody was watching it then. All right. Netflix took pity on them and said, we'll finish it because the 500 people that like it, we'll do it. And out of those 500, maybe we'll get another 1,000 that want it and they'll subscribe, you know?
Even then, like at least season 3 ended in a cliffhanger. But yeah, once Netflix picked it up, season 4 was supposed to be it. That it ends with Lucifer in hell, back in charge. We're done. We don't need anything else.
I don't know anything about that. All I know is connecting it to the Lil Nas X thing again is that Lucifer is a pansexual in the comics. And he's just fucking pretty blonde bitches on the TV show and gets all the ratings.
He fucks everything. He does not care in the show either.
So then why are they so mad at Lil Nas X?
For the shoes.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
The shoes.
Yeah, I didn't hear any controversy about the video until the shoes came out. And then Nike only cares about the shoes because they didn't approve their shoes being sold that way.
Yeah.
There's a lawsuit.
You mean to tell me
there's a fucking lawsuit?
You mean to tell me the company that slaves little Korean kids has scruples about how they market their shoes?
I don't think they have scruples. I just don't think they're getting as big a cut as they were supposed to.
I thought it was Chinese kids.
Well, look, I used to say they look the same for comedic effect, but this day and age, that don't fly. I don't feel good doing that, so I'm not gonna do that.
I agree. Yeah, man. So anyway, long story short, if you want to come home Thanksgiving weekend, come home, Oz.
Wait, come home?
Yeah.
Illinois is my home.
Oh, okay. Hey,
California is
feel free, man. Listen, no, listen. We were trying to give you the benefit of the doubt, but if you want to be a Midwesterner, that's all good.
Look, California is where my parents stay.
Got it. Okay.
Now I can go back because I'm not a child, so I won't be put in a cage.
Well, if he would have gotten rid of that amendment he wanted, that he said his lawyer said could do it, he would have been sent. He would have been put in the cage.
But here's the problem is I gotta see what restrictions are gonna happen. Like, do I fly straight to LAX or do I have to fly to Vegas?
No, you're good. Dude,
it's like
there's no
we're like California is one of the states that like the case counts are going in the right direction. Like by November, if things stay the way they are now, by November you'll be able to come to California and do whatever you want.
Larry's explaining it wrong.
What?
Because Oz, you got to see it. Look, Biden's in charge. Nobody gives a shit about COVID now. Like, you're not going to see a closure. You're never going to see a closure again.
That's not true.
I'm asking for mask mandates all over again.
Yeah. No, there's no mask mandate. Like, I mean, there's the suggestion, and then there's the personal owner.
I'll wear a mask. I don't. Yeah. That's fine with me. It's just nobody have that COVID vaccination card is all I care about, really. If I can go there without it, I'm good. If I can't,
nobody. Who in America?
You didn't give a fuck when you got to junior high and they used your vaccination record.
They did give a fuck, and I had to go to a hospital and get revaccinated.
Right. I'm saying you didn't give a fuck. I'm saying you didn't give a fuck.
I didn't give a fuck, but it's not up to me. Yeah, it's up to the officials there.
Don't give a fuck now either. The government fucked you the moment they gave you your social security number. So don't fuck around and worry about this vaccination card.
Okay, see, you're worried about what I care about. I'm just trying to figure out, do I fly to LAX or Vegas?
LAX.
Fly to LAX.
Okay.
Unless something drastic happens in Illinois between now and November.
No, the California. If it happens in California.
Why California?
Because I'm gonna fly into California, so the rules there are what's gonna be applied to me. You
understand.
There's some states where if you fly into that state, you have to quarantine for a while before you do anything, unless you have like a vaccine or something like that.
Well, but that's the thing. Like, case counts are going down here. If they're still up in Illinois, then that's what might make it so that you have to quarantine, because they're like, they'll be worried you're infected.
Yeah,
Well,
they're not
look,
gonna do it.
my biggest concern is you guys. You guys tell me what you need, and then I'll decide if I'm going.
I spent 20 minutes saying I'm ready to die. Like,
That did happen. That did happen. No,
Yeah.
we're
But
good. 'Cause-
Lawrence is there acting like a little bitch about dying. Like,
no, he got his vaccine. What does he care?
look, I'm not gonna die.
oh, you got the vaccine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna rub my junk all over your face then.
You're absolutely not. I promise you. I will
COVID is
find.
the least of your concerns at that point.
I will find whatever pair of friggin' sewing scissors I need to find to chop your little penis off. I promise. All of it. I'm just like,
Look,
The little
Yeah.
eyebrow, the little mustache scissors.
you gotta find
Like-
it. You gotta find it first. If it's that small, you gotta find it.
hey, listen, I'm not gonna look for it.
And with Larry's eyesight.
I'm just gonna chop away.
Between Larry's
I was like,
eyesight
listen.
and my lack of manscaping, it's gonna be like
Oh,
through the forest. Just
I just, you know what? It's gonna be the restrictions here are gonna be really tough, man. You shouldn't come. You shouldn't come. I'm just saying.
I'm gonna
You know,
come.
you know how we are here in California, man. They're gonna be like, nose
Look.
swabs and butt swabs. You don't want to deal with all that. You should just
I'll
stay.
take a butt swab. I'm cool with that. I'm gonna come. It's just how close am I gonna be to you when it happens?
Oh, butt swab.
If the Chinese method of testing you is more accurate, look, I'll do it. Let's go. It's a little swab, right?
Larry's gonna conduct a test to get into his house.
Like how many fingers constitutes a swab? Is it
Oh,
just-
jeez. Oh, you know what? I apologize. I didn't mean for this to happen.
If it's 3, we might have a problem. I might
Is there any other news that we need to talk about before we get out of here?
Yeah, Pierce Brosnan is rumored to be Dr. Fate in the Black Shazam.
Black Shazam. How do you feel about that, Mo?
Oh, I think it's great. I think we didn't get to talk about that last week, right? I know it was news from last week, but I don't know if we talked about it on air.
The news came up after our show.
Okay. I think it's great. I think that voice under that helmet's gonna be good, and they could just use like a CGI body, like because I mean the thing is like Dr. Fate doesn't need to be like this buff dude, but he always looks like it because he's a DC comic book character.
Right.
So you're used to seeing that, but he doesn't need to be that.
But
And,
Pierce Brosnan's not in bad shape.
I don't know, man. He's like, what is he, like 85?
I don't know how old he is, but I'm not saying like you don't have to put him in spandex.
Right, but it's
My favorite part of that story is it exposed Boss Logic as a fake ass nerd because he did some art as Brosnan as Dr. Fate without the helmet. He had like this huge like Gandalf beard on him, and I'm like that's not Kent at all.
Yeah.
Like maybe if he had a goatee, okay, I've seen that book, but dude is not like fucking Duck Dynasty beard.
He's like he's a
He's
wizard, right?
67.
67, yeah.
He's like wizards have beards.
Yeah.
Right. Boss
He thought
Logic,
he was the guy from ZZ Top.
yeah, Boss Logic doesn't know these characters. He just that's all he has is just fan
He
art.
does the likes. He does it for the likes.
Yeah.
Just
And
like you do.
I called him out on Instagram, and there was a lot of people who were like, "Oh, I don't think you ever see Dr. Fate without the helmet." And I was like, "Okay."
Man, that's ridiculous.
And
does
that's what we're dealing with.
Yeah. But I mean, there was an announcement. I sent it to you guys about Black Adam, but it was like something that wasn't like I don't think it was that substantial, was it? Did you guys get to see that? No. It was on Instagram.
What is it? What are you talking about?
There was again, I can't even tell you. Like it was from WonderCon weekend, and they just released it on Instagram, and it was like, yeah, it was like something. I felt like it's something we've already seen, but I don't know. I needed you guys to tell me, but if you guys didn't watch it, then yeah.
Is it the thing with Times Square? Is it that?
Yeah.
Oh, it's just. I think it's just The Rock, like in Times Square when like all the things are Black Adam at once. I think that's all it was.
All right.
You know how it goes. Like they have all those billboards, those electronic billboards, and I guess at a
Yeah.
certain time,
But I thought it was
all were
because like,
Black Adam at once.
yeah, I thought maybe my comprehension was all jacked up.
Which I mean, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying like that's a big deal if that's your movie. Like it's cool, but I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, I mean, it's not like it's the first time that that's ever happened, as far as I know. I feel like that's happened with other big movies, but
Well, if they gave it the release date or something.
oh, you know what? I think that is what it was. I think it was
Okay.
the announcement of the release date. But listen, I don't care about it enough to be like, oh, the release date for Black Adam. Like, you remember what the date is, Jay?
The release date for Black Adam? No.
I feel like I think it's May. It might be like I don't know. I don't know, man. Like, look, I love Dwayne Johnson. Like, The Rock is amazing, but like that movie, it's the next DC movie. You know what I mean? And if they were like, hey, it's completely separate from the Shazam movie, then that would make me feel different about it. But I don't know that.
Lawrence, as a self-proclaimed Dwayne Johnson fan, are you watching Young Rock?
No. What is Young Rock?
You don't even know
Oh
what
my God. It's like Everybody Hates Chris, but with The Rock. So he has all these stories with all these wrestlers like Terry Funk, Junkyard Dog, Andre the Giant,
Macho Man,
Nick Roberts, Macho Man Randy
So
Savage,
it's a TV
Ric
show?
Flair, Dusty Rhodes,
it's a TV show that
Demolition.
It starts off with the
Legion of
premise that
Doom.
The Rock is running for president in 2032, which explains several
You
stories.
gotta let me finish my list of all the people.
That's because you will never stop.
Real quick, the movie's coming out July 29th, 2022.
Wait, what? No. Is that what they were announced in that Times Square? That the movie's coming out in more than a year from now?
Well, they haven't even shot it yet, Lawrence.
Wait,
That's what it says on IMDb.
Oh, Jesus. No, I can't. Like, they oh, okay. Whatever.
Yeah, Lawrence, watch Young Rock. It's a good show.
Is it a show or a documentary?
It's a show.
It's like
Yeah.
Everybody Hates Chris, but with The Rock.
It's filmed
Who's
like
playing The Rock?
different people depending on what age, because they have some as him as a little kid, him as a teenager, him in his college years. Each episode jumps around because the premise is he's running for president and he's being interviewed by Randall Park, who you know from WandaVision.
Yeah.
As he's being interviewed, he starts telling these stories from his childhood of how he learned this lesson that's going to make him a better president.
So it's Dwayne Johnson playing himself
As an adult,
as a presidential candidate,
yeah,
telling stories about his past,
right.
and then other people playing those stories out.
Right, because
That could
the
be
real
interesting.
Andre the Giant is dead, so you can't get him to reprise himself in the 80s.
You have Margie
Not without
Tony,
necromancy.
Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
What network do I watch?
Hulk
that?
Hogan,
That racist fuck.
D'Lo Brown,
What network?
Iron Sheik,
What
the
network?
Texas Tornado.
I'm gonna see how many.
Here.
I'm gonna see how many he goes through. Hold on.
You know, I was waiting. I actually wrote down, like, I had a roll of paper that just went about 8 feet because I wrote down everything for this moment, and then it never happened because I thought nobody was watching it, nobody brought it up, and I wanted it to come up organically so I could just rattle off these names, and these are just the ones I had in my head.
I thought you were gonna say you had a role that you
Bob
did
Backlund
on, and then you took a shit. So there goes that role.
Lex
It's
Luger,
on NBC. You could probably watch it online.
Sting, the Angry Samoans, Papa Shango.
NBC, Lawrence.
Okay, I might check it out.
Like, I had like 800 names.
Well,
So,
I'm happy we're moving on.
Suicide Squad trailer. You guys, I know you watched it.
Yes.
Too.
Gangrel,
What?
the Nation of Domination,
Suicide Squad trailer.
Oh yeah, that shit was amazing. I'm in.
It looks great.
James Gunn's a genius.
There was a controversy. People apparently were mad because we live in a world where everybody's a comic book expert. That King Shark was not a hammerhead. What are you guys' thoughts on it?
Here's the thing. Gail Simone is stoked about King Shark. And
Gail Simone is
being
stoked to have a
played
second
by
season.
Sylvester Stallone. And so I'm down with the character because she's down.
I mean, she's down for hot fudge. So
That's
What
not.
does that even mean?
That's not.
I mean,
We're better than this, Oz.
not it. Well,
Not when I'm talking about your little dick and your manicured.
so you guys don't care that he's not a hammerhead, even though he was a hammerhead in the first appearance, considering the fact that he's been a great white in a lot more. Well, not a lot more.
So which is it? He's a hammerhead in this? Is that what it is? We're talking about?
He's a great white in this.
Right, and he
First
was
appearance is a hammerhead.
right, but he wasn't in the Flash, and he wasn't in Harley Quinn, and they were all great appearances.
He wasn't in. I was gonna say New 52. There's a version of Suicide Squad where he has it. Like I've read more comics with him as a great white than I have as a hammerhead.
Exactly. Yeah, like
Who are the King Shark fanboys that are like, that's not what King Shark looks like?
look,
Like, I don't feel like those people are real people. Like, they don't
They-
actually exist. Like,
they didn't
there's people
exist
that
until
might
this
say
trailer.
that, but they don't really mean it though.
They didn't exist until this trailer, because otherwise they would have said shit about the other Suicide Squad.
Right.
Yeah,
Well, wait, the other Suicide Squad, you mean like the movie?
The original.
Right. The fact that there was no King Shark in it.
Or that any of those characters look the way they look. I mean, the only character
Yeah,
that
but
looked right was
we're
El
not talking about
Diablo, right?
Yeah, we're not talking about that.
Oh,
Like that's
That
getting
word.
too deep for these fucking keyboard fanboys.
These people exist because now that we've gotten more popular, they watch our show and realize that we hate stuff that's not comic accurate. So they Wikipedia first appearance of whatever random character they need to complain about. See that, oh hey, look, in Superboy 89 or whatever, he was a hammerhead. And so I'm angry now because that's gonna give me clicks to my faux website.
We make hate look cool.
I don't think that's true. But maybe. I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't make hate look cool because I don't hate well.
Tiger Claw in chat says James Gunn explains why he went with the Great White instead of the Hammerhead, and he gives a link.
He basically said that because the eyes were so far apart, it was kind of weird trying to talk to him and shoot it. It didn't work. So he went with the Great White.
Listen, I promise you, very few people need that explanation.
Weasel looks amazing.
Y'all know Javelin's gonna die in like the first 5 minutes, right?
Yeah.
The dude is the Slipknot of this movie.
Who's gonna die?
Javelin.
Oh,
I don't know if that's a spoiler, but I see Harley Quinn carrying around the Javelin with no Javelin inside. I'm assuming dude died pretty quick and she just picked it up.
I
also didn't see a lot from like half the characters in that trailer.
Did they already give Cena a Peacemaker movie?
Yeah, I think it's a prequel. Not movie, TV show.
That's wild. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, he looks great, and I'm sure Cena could play the hell out of that particular character. But that's just wild that before the movie even premieres, he has his own TV show already.
Yeah.
So
Him and
it looks like a good movie, though. It looks much better than the first one.
yeah, Peacemaker
And better than Guardians.
Peacemaker and the Spring Soldier is coming to HBO Max. I heard.
The Spring Soldier.
Speaking of which, if you want to watch us talk about Falcon and Winter Soldier, you gotta subscribe and you'll get a new episode every Monday.
Right. all that. What other news do we need to talk about? Anything else? Like, I know that there was other stuff that happened.
There's other stuff, but I'm out. I'm done.
Are you telling me
That's not what we said in the text.
this is our first show since WonderCon and we're not like news heavy?
Well,
What did that say
not a
about
lot happened at WonderCon.
which says a lot about WonderCon. Like normally the show after the con is like that's all we have time for is news.
Well, but this is pandemic WonderCon.
I agree. WonderCon sucks. Hasn't been good since we were live from WonderCon. That's the last time we were.
Weren't we live from Long Beach Comic Con?
I thought it was WonderCon, and then they stopped doing it live after that.
They're restoring the Snyderverse.
Oh Jesus, Oz! I need you to talk to your people, man. Tell these
No, like I've told you, those people are stupid.
tell
like,
them to stand down, goddamn.
Like, did they forget that Snyder did Batman v Superman?
I mean, they
I
like
love that.
yeah.
And well, by the way, I'm a little upset at you, Lawrence, because I watched last week's show, and how dare you imply that I didn't remember Distant Fires?
Wait, what did I do?
See, you don't even remember it.
Listen, I don't have time to remember all the insults I heard your way, Oz. Give me like a cheat sheet.
There's so many tiny penis ones. They get lost in the shit.
I was talking about the Snyder Cut. I brought up Bruce Kent. Jay brought up Distant Fires, which was the last time we saw a Bruce Kent, and you automatically like assumed that I didn't even know what he was talking about and said that out loud on the air. Which I guess this should be a corrections and retraction because I don't understand why you would like just assume that I don't know about Distant Fires.
Weren't you there last week?
I was.
But he had a bad connection.
I can't.
I was in here like, what happened?
I don't have
Like, why
time
are
to
we talking
defend
about this
myself.
week? Like, were you here?
I couldn't defend
like-
myself.
You're
And
like, it totally sounded like you didn't know what Distant Fires was by
Distant Fires
to make out.
is
That's not my
really-
fault, man. You gotta blame internet. You gotta blame Starlink.
Like Distant Fires. Like I assume Mo knows Distant Fires because the cover to that is more heavy metal than any of these death metal books coming out recently. When you have Superman who tore off his sleeves, riding a giant war panther, surrounded by lightning bolts and fire, that is heavy metal.
That's a Manowar cover. Or an Amon Amarth cover. Like you look at any Manowar cover or Amon Amarth cover, and it's like that, like what you're describing.
Like
That's
the
interesting.
cover
So
alone
yeah,
is
was
just
it-
totally like 90s heavy metal.
Yeah. Power metal.
Yeah. So really, the only person here that hasn't read it is probably you, Lawrence.
I believe it 100%.
I didn't read it, but
But you saw the cover though. Tell me you saw the
yeah,
cover.
I saw the cover.
Like that cover would be like on the side of a panel van.
Yeah.
It's so heavy. Look at that. Look at that.
Now,
Come
if it
on.
would have been painted by Michael Whelan, I probably would have read it.
It's beautiful the way it is. I'm satisfied. with it.
Why is he riding the Panther?
That's his Panther Kryptonite. He just raised it. It's post-apocalyptic, so they're like mutated animals.
I just love how you said that. Like it makes sense. Like,
It makes
that's
sense if you
Panther
read the book.
Kryptonite. Like, what are you talking about? What does that mean? This Panther Kryptonite?
He raised it. That's his pet.
Wait, so he named the Panther Kryptonite?
Yeah.
Why? He doesn't like Kryptonite.
Well, because he's depowered at that point, so like Kryptonite doesn't really affect him. And Crypto was taken,
He's like, this is my weakness.
and I'm
Crypto's
making it
named
my
after
strength.
Crypto's named after the planet, not the.
Well, it's Kryptonite.
Kryptonite is a derivative, but it's not named after the planet. It's like, and besides Kryptonite, it's like a bad thing.
Kryptonite is part of the planet. It's a piece of the
Right.
planet. You tell me it's
Right.
not named after the planet?
I
It's
mean,
like, if Earth exploded, it would be Earthenite.
oh, I don't believe that.
If you have Batmonium, you have Earthenite.
Oh, jeez.
I just shared the Manowar cover. That reminds me of that comic book cover.
Yeah, look, that's all 90s heavy metal stuff, man. That's what we dealt with.
He's got pit bulls, tigers, and steeds.
Are the pit bulls like leading the tigers?
Yeah.
Okay. And then there's one pit bull on the side.
Yeah, they're technically British Staffordshire Terriers, but yeah.
That's hilarious.
Tiger Claw wants to talk about the Thundercats.
Yeah.
He says the Thundercats movie will be CGI and not live action.
Well, if Disney was making it, they'd call it live action.
I heard people were calling for Momoa to be Lion-O. No?
I'm not sure how I feel about that. Like,
I think it's just because he's a large, strong, hairy man.
But he's a little, like, he's super confident, like, and capable.
I
Lion-O.
I think his Conan sucked way too much to assume he can do Lion-O, right?
I mean, go ahead.
His Conan was probably more how Joe perceives Lion-O than what Momoa, how he perceives Momoa. Because that Conan was like just bad. Like, I don't even call him Conan. I call him Conan because he's closer to Conan O'Brien than Conan.
I was about to say, I was like, I don't understand why we keep saying Conan.
Yeah, because it's like, he might as well be a ginger that's funny.
Lion-O's a ginger.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I guess Jason Momoa could be Lion-O, but you know, I don't know.
Tiger Claw says, I want the Thundercats to look more feline. Lion-O needs to look more like a lion than a human with lion markings.
I don't think they'll do that.
I don't feel like that's what Lion-O doesn't look more like a lion than a person.
I think
No, it doesn't.
It's gonna be like cats.
No, it won't.
The director specifically said that he does not want it to look like cats.
Look, the people that made cats didn't want it to look like cats, and yet they are.
They're like, damn, how did this happen?
It just did. That's.
They're like, where are the buttholes?
I miss when Joe would want us to end on time.
Last week.
I do want us to end on time, but
You missed last week?
we started news at like an hour and 59 minutes in. Like, and then
Made it
fucking went on forever.
He should still
It
end.
wasn't even that funny.
Yeah.
Damn.
I was trying to cut out the whole Final Space conversation, but you guys.
No, see, this guy.
Tiger Claw says there was the 2011 Thundercats series. They look more feline than that. Not particularly. Like, maybe you could argue Wile E. Kit and Wile E. Cat do.
No, they look like people still. Like,
No, they do.
yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. I'm like trying to figure out like what it is. Like they all look like the Thundercats.
He wants Lionel to actually be a cat.
He wants him to look like some sort of tiger claw.
Tiger cub.
Like if I can't cosplay as Lionel and be a furry at the same time, I don't know what we're doing here.
Yeah, thank you, Jay. Because I was just like, that definitely felt like the end of the show. Oz,
Real
give us
quick.
another gem. Oh wait, what?
Real quick.
It's not very quick.
Ending. What's this faux ending, Jay? What are you trying to do?
So this is the 2011 designs. And they look like people.
They look more people than feline.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, maybe those characters look a little furrier than like the originals, but not by much. Anyway. Oz, why don't you give us some final thoughts, man?
I guess I'll see you guys for Thanksgiving. Maybe. That's my family. They don't need to have turkey with me. Fuck it.
Are you gonna come here for Thanksgiving, or are you gonna?
Well, yeah. Comic-Con starts on Thanksgiving, right?
No, it's Friday.
Preview night's on Wednesday.
Well, we do a show on Wednesday night, so I have to be there for Wednesday night.
Oh, I thought you were gonna stay till the.
Look, I'll be thankful to have you.
There's no
if I go to LA, I'll be there for the show live and throughout the entire weekend.
This special edition Comic-Con doesn't start on Thursday. It starts Friday.
Whatever. Well, we do a show on Wednesday.
Okay.
Are we doing the show on Thursday that week? No, that's
yeah. We'll do it, and we'll do it Friday.
Care about your family, so
we'll do a low-key live cast.
A low-key live cast.
Yeah, because Loki is going to be on then, right?
I don't know. I don't know what the date is for Loki.
It's right after Falcon and Winter. No, it's gonna be over by then.
No, Bad Batch comes after Falcon and Winter Soldier.
When does the Tina Carano show come out?
Never worry.
It's gonna be on TNN.
It's gonna be on Cancel Ember. Okay. Oz, did you do your final thought? You did.
I thought that was it. Wait, stop making me think.
That sounds like it was it. Jay, final thought.
Gotta look into getting a website. Pain.
Like for you or for the show?
Like for me, I need a website now.
Why?
Why?
Like your OnlyFans?
No, and I don't want to get into it.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry you brought it up for final thoughts then.
My bad.
Like, I wish I could hit that key button. Like whenever Joe says something crazy, somebody new subscribe. Like, you know what? I'm gonna do it anyway. Fuck the outro.
Jay's like, I don't really appreciate you bringing this up, so I'm just not going to address it. Like, wait, what? What are you talking about? Moses Magnum, final thought.
I can't reiterate this enough, but we have a separate show just for Falcon and Winter Soldier. All you have to do is subscribe to our YouTube and get it. It comes out, after the weekend because, we take a few days to do it and a few days to edit it. But my goal is by the end of the series, we'll have it the same day. But only if you subscribe and hit like and hit the bell.
Oh, boy.
I agree. Oh, boy. For the entire Fantastic Forum, thank you all so much for hanging out with us. We do appreciate you. We'll be back next week with some more awesome content. In the meantime, listen to Moses. Like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, do all that. Comment. Let us know what you think of the show. We appreciate you. We're the Fantastic Forum. We'll be back next week. Until then, stay safe.